Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the evil that men do. Father God, I pray and ask that you help me to have mercy on others the same way I would want you to have mercy on me. Father God, I also ask that you help me to be quick to forgive and slow to get angry. Amen, amen, amen. These young dudes out here don't respect shit until you put the barrel in their ear and let the text spit. I just might catch a case on my next hit, remove their whole face on some special effect shit. So show respect, Drake, or I'ma have a flashback. Digging through the dresser like fuck it, where my mask at? Then mash back with the banger and damage shit and say fuck everything I learned in anger management. Hop back on some east side managed shit and push a nigga's top back when I let the cannon spit. Start planning shit, premeditation. I'm in love with the streets again, rededication. Casket or cremation when I shoot you down. I was built for the smoke like a hookah lounge. I keep big shit that sound like a bazooka sound, and I shoot quicker than ain't gotta be a hoop around. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Gun on me, it ain't never for show, homie. I'm far from a bully, but I'm never a hoe. Get out of line, my Beretta will blow. Real talk, we can take the beef wherever we go. I bring it to your front door like I'm Uber Eats. I guarantee you listen up when this Ruger speaks. Plus I maneuver through these streets like a ghost, and I'm handy with the heat. I cook a nigga like a roast. On me, homie, this is not a boast. I will still come through, boy, and stop a nigga's post. Play him close, man, Eric will ease it. Quickly off the waistband, man, and Eric will squeeze it. Leave you niggas laid out dead or paraplegic. Niggas playing in these streets while I'm very strategic. I come to your house dressed like the gas man. Shoot you 9 times, leave you stretched by the trash can. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. I don't put shit on Facebook, I just holler in person. Put the pistol in your mouth while you're hollering and cursing. All that shit you kept rehearsing and put on your live, got you clapped with the big 4-5. You bitch nigga, if you tell me to pull up, I'ma do that. That nigga who was whooping first nigga that I shoot at. Ski mask on my face, bystanders be like, who that? I ain't with the talking, bitch, boy, I thought you knew that. Leave his brains where my shoe at and bounce like I'm on a trampoline. Leave you laid out, nigga, like you camping on the scene. If you want something sweet, grab a peach or tangerine. Niggas won't smoke, well fuck it, I'ma let them handle steam. AR with the beam, you see the red dot? We tug on this trigger, nigga, it'll make your head pop. Blood pouring down to your shoes, call it Red Sox. Your brains hanging all over your shoulders like some dreadlocks. Expect the gang of dead off if they ever cross the line. The Lord said in the Bible, oh, revenge is mine. So I'm just trying to find a righteous path between the two. Before I lose control and do the shit I used to do. This being humble shit is new. I'm trying to turn the other cheek, but I ain't never been a bitch, so watch your mouth when you speak. Your mercy's what I seek, so I pray on bended knees. Don't let me get the K with the extended clip and squeeze. Lord, please. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps. Dear God, please don't let me relapse and return to the G-Ride with the 3 straps. A ski mask with the case, squeezing keys apps, spraying everything from a nigga's brain to his kneecaps.
All right. What happened here? What happened? My headphones are not coming in. Oh, Rodecaster? Yeah. What's going? Oh, okay. Here we go. All right, y'all. Here we go. That was my man, 16tolife.com. Go over here and check him out at his page, 16tolife.com, and he will be there for you. How are you today on a Saturday afternoon? Got some stuff on my toothpaste on me. How are y'all doing? Let me bring my man Rico in. Rico, what's going on with you, brother? You here? Can you hear me, Rico? Okay. What's going on, brother? You good? All right. Anyway, that was 16tolife.com. Okay. Yeah, that was 16tolife.com, man. And you can go get him. His brother Eric. He's a good brother, man. He's a good dude, man. So go on over there, check him out. Okay. Got you, Rico. Yeah, he's a good brother. He's over there. Check him out, and he will have a gear for you. He has music, and what he needs to do is put out a comedy album, man. That's what that dude needs to do. He is definitely a funny cat, but go on over there, check him out. Good dude, man. All right, so here we are. Y'all probably wondering, man, it's Saturday, man. You guys usually don't do anything on Saturday. Well, we usually don't. But I think we're gonna get together and talk about the craziness that's going on out here in these YouTube streets. See, y'all don't see. There's an advantage to being old like me and Rico, man. We are pushed to the side as far as information. Nobody tells us nothing. We don't find out about it till a week later, a month later, 2 months later, whatever. We don't find out about it. So the bad part about it is people look at us like we know everything, but we don't. We don't find out about stuff till way after, way after. Typically. So we're gonna do a stream on just the sheer busterism that's going on out here in these YouTube streets. But that I don't know if we're gonna touch on that today, but I think that's probably gonna be a later stream that we're gonna do. Okay, so today, let me ask you: did you thank God for being able to just inhale and exhale, being able to go to the bathroom by yourself, being able to just go outside and sniff some of that good, clean, fresh air? If you didn't, man, you got to think about it, man. You need to get in there and do your thing. Do your thing. Just be thankful. Just be thankful. How can more be added to your basket if you're not thankful for what's already in there? Think it over. Think it over. All right, so let's get right to it. You guys read the topic today is Trevor Bauer, and he is a pitcher for the LA Dodgers. Go Dodgers! Go Dodgers! And he is a pitcher for the Dodgers, but he got a little crink in his situation. The guy made $28 million last year. 28 mil. But he had a little issue. He had a little issue come up. A couple of different issues come up. Now it's the third issue coming up. Poor fella. So anyway, I'm going to read you guys an article on ESPN.com that had to do with Trevor Bauer. Let me see if you guys can see that article here. Okay, we're going to talk about Trevor Bauer. All right, so it says Trevor Bauer suspended for 2 seasons by MLB. Imagine you got your paycheck is $28 million a year, and you get suspended for 2 years. That's $56 million that's gone. Whew, gone out of your life. I mean, I'm sure he was counting on that 56 mil, right? At least some of it, right? Trevor Bauer suspended for 2 years by the MLB. Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher to appeal ban. I'm sure he is going to appeal it. I'm sure he is going to appeal it. 56 mil. I'm sure he is going to appeal it. This is by staff writer Alden Gonzalez. Major League.
Number 1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power brings you the Select Cut mower.
Let me take that down. No, we don't want that. We don't want that. Okay, cool. Major League Baseball announced that a 324-game suspension for Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer. Okay, let's do the math, y'all. Let us do the math. Okay, he gets paid. Let's see.
How much a game?
Well, we're gonna find out. He gets paid $28 million a year. So let's see. Trevor Bauer.
I told you it was about 25 million. So that's $50 million. And with that suspension, he don't get paid for that.
56 million, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna see how much he gets paid per game. Okay. Divided by 324.
No, is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute. It's 56 million divided by 324. $172,839 per game. Ouch.
And you know what's crazy?
What's that?
He's a pitcher, and pitchers don't pitch every day.
Yeah, they got to rotate, right?
They rotate.
Yeah.
They pitch like every 8 days, but that's still what he would be getting paid for days he didn't pitch that he's not going to get paid.
Yes.
And that's why he's probably attempting to appeal it.
Yeah.
To knock off one of those years. But and then he's and Angry say he's LA, right?
Yeah, the Doyers.
Yeah, see, and I'm surprised you didn't know this.
Nah, man, I wasn't even paying attention to it.
Right, because that's what I thought. I said, I think he played for the Dodgers. Damn, that's how they go in, Clint.
Yeah. And he must be doing a good job for him because $28 million a year. Holy smokes.
Yeah, but that's and folks don't know, like Major League Baseball, man. And there's again another cautionary tale about and I think, like you said, okay, so it's a third woman I see.
Yeah.
So
not looking good.
I think
not looking good.
And all his cases, he's already, they press criminal charges. So all the criminal stuff has been settled.
You're right.
It's been settled.
That's good news.
And it's not, but see, the thing is with the criminal charges, remember we were talking about the grape thing the other day.
Right.
And the gentleman was thinking, oh, well, it's false because they didn't press charges. I'm like, no, that doesn't mean it's false. That means they didn't have enough evidence to go forward. Right. And that's what's been becoming the story in this gentleman's case, because he's even admitting that it was I guess he was doing some really crazy, rough stuff.
Yeah. I want to read the article. Rico, let me read the article.
Oh, go ahead.
Because it goes into it a little bit. Major League Baseball announced a 324-game suspension for LA Dodgers pitcher Trevor Bauer on Friday, the equivalent of 2 full seasons, and by far the most severe punishment handed out under the sport's domestic violence policy. Holy smokes. $56 million. Well, we already read up here, Trevor Bauer, he's gonna appeal it. He's gonna appeal that ban. Bauer promptly released a statement announcing he was appealing the suspension, thus becoming the first player to contest punishment through MLB's domestic violence policy. I don't know how that's going to work for him. How do you think the women out there in the baseball world are going to react to that situation, brother?
They're going to protest like hell if the suspension is not upheld, period. And the bottom line is, again, like I told you, that it's a money thing. And he's the first case, and if these guys don't learn, he won't be the last case, and the suspensions may get longer, and there'll be, people fail to realize, these young folks fail to realize, and if you don't want to think the power of it, Clarence, I'm going to go ahead with your old Negrosaurus ass. We're going to date ourselves. Pete Rose.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a big, yeah. Yeah, they Pete still Rose. Won't take it off his neck. Yeah.
Pete Rose.
Yeah.
That motherfucker will probably die waiting to see him get in the Hall of Fame, and he deserves to be.
They still won't.
But he was gambling.
Yeah.
He was gambling on sports.
But you know what his defense was, Rico? I never bet on us to lose.
Yes, or it wasn't games we played, but they did not care. Do you understand? And the power that they had then has just gotten stronger every year. It doesn't get weaker. It gets stronger.
Yeah.
He was gambling.
Yeah.
Do you know how many millions of dollars that Pete Rose had lost behind that shit?
Yeah, man. That was a big number. That's a big number.
Guys are still on that I'm smarter mentality.
I'm gonna talk my way out of it, huh?
Okay. And I think, this guy, he's 31. That's not old by even. Hell, I guess he could pitch maybe to 40. But that's 2 years of his. that's the next 2 years are prime years for a pitcher.
Yes.
So even after that suspension, he ain't gonna get no another big contract like that. This will be hanging over his head. He'll be older. Between the age and the suspension, I mean, he'll probably get re-signed, but it's gonna be less and less.
I think where he's gonna really get hit hard is the endorsements, man.
Oh yeah, they done. They're gone. They're gone.
Done deal, man. That's a done deal. So,
whatever he got, they're gone. They all dropped his ass immediately.
Yeah. That's it, man.
He's not out there pitching. Why am I gonna keep paying you for endorsing sneakers, gloves, and everything else?
Well, they don't want They don't want the headache of the protesting.
They don't want the headache of the protesting. Plus, you're not the endorsement. When we pay you to endorse, it's because you're out there performing as well. So when you're out there, like when Tiger played golf, he was wearing the gear and the shoes, and so Cadillac, he's playing. When he stops playing, they don't show so many of them Cadillac commercials with Tiger Woods. Why? Until his ass come back, he's not playing golf.
Right.
People don't care. That's what advertising and endorsement is about. It's about you keeping a clean-cut image. You're out there performing. You're out there in the public eye. And anything negative that you do can be inferred upon our product, and we don't want that.
Right.
But continue on with the article.
All right.
There's a lot of money, and just for the record, folks, this is a 31-year-old white guy.
Yeah. They just snatched 56 mil from this dude.
Imagine.
Holy smokes.
Imagine if he was black or Latino.
Yeah, man.
He'd be done.
It'd probably be at least 5 years.
He'd be done.
He'd be done?
He'd be done.
All right. Let me do some shout outs real quick, Rico. Doberman, aka Rorschach says, men need to know what these women are on. The best thing you can do as a man is to opt out sometimes.
I agree. There you go. There you go.
You just got to be smart.
Thank you, Rorschach. You knocked it out the park with that one.
Yeah, man. It's a whole
now this next one, I don't know.
Okay, Rorschach says some of these chicks love rough stuff. Okay, some of them do. IRL. What's IRL?
In real life.
Okay, see, I'm so old. Okay, in real life, I am 6'1", 220 pounds. Rorschach is a monster out there, Rico, and an ex-weightlifter. A lot of these women I deal with nowadays are looking for a novel experience. A dude like me. Be careful out there, Rorschach.
Rorschach, you're missing a word, right? You supposed to say a lot of these white women I deal with.
I ain't
get chopped, Rorschach.
Rico, you better leave Rorschach alone. Rorschach 6'1", better leave him alone, man. He's a solid.
But you know what? But Rorschach, I'll be honest with you. I agree with everything you're saying, but that's the whole point of why we're having this topic and this conversation.
Yeah.
Because you
guys
they can say one thing, but if you have a lot to risk or to lose, you got to be thinking ahead of the curve.
You got to be careful.
You got to be thinking ahead, and that's what we're talking to. Because you're right. I know that there are, what people want. They want all kinds of crazy shit in the bedroom. And if you Joe the garbage man, that's fine. But if you a $28 million a year athlete, nah, fuck that shit. You get them to see it on
get paper. You got to get video. You got to have everything going on.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
All right. Risa Neal says, hello, brother C and Rico. Hey, what's going on, Sister Risa? Good to see you. Oh, man, my sister. Hey, did I tell you me and Patricia did a live stream last night, man?
Yeah, I missed it. She need to come on up here and say hi to me.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. And she cammed up for me, brother.
Yeah, because this is a good topic she can tap in on, and it's because what we're spinning is we're trying to spin how young men and even young women or people of means at risk, how they need to think moving forward to better protect themselves and stop thinking. Unfortunately, this guy, Mr. Bauer, he probably was still thinking like, oh, I'm in the AAA, I'm a nobody. And that's probably shit he did before he got big. But now that you're big, you got to move different. That's the big thing that I'm trying to push out.
What's going on, brother? Be easy, brother. Be easy.
There's my counselor. That dude,
man.
dude,
somebody can help us. Help us navigate through these crazy busterized YouTube streets, man. We need somebody with some expertise out here, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get back to the article, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's see. Blah, 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 blah. In the strongest possible terms, I deny committing any violation of the league's domestic violence and sexual assault policy. Does that mean that he didn't do anything, Rico?
Hell no, he did it. He admitted it. But what he's trying to do is
policy, right?
He's playing the semantics game, which is true.
Right,
that's legalese. That's legalese.
Hey, 56 mil on the line. I mean, man, you got to do it. You got to go down swinging, man.
Right.
Bauer's statement read, "I am appealing this action to expect to prevail, and I expect to prevail. As we have throughout this process, my representatives and I respect the confidentiality of the proceedings." Bauer, 31, was accused of sex assault by a San Diego woman who requested a restraining order and essentially alleged that he took consensual rough sex too far over the course of 2 encounters. Wait a minute, Rico. Why did she come back? If the first time was rough, why did she come back? Maybe Patrice or somebody
maybe she thought the second time he would stop when she said stop. You know what I'm saying? It's I think I want to say at one point, right? You're going a little bit more. It's about the choking. And come on now, I'm like, you tell the motherfucker, stop, okay, you know, but see, that's I hate to say it is, and like Rorschach said earlier, I'm gonna try to fix this glare behind me in a minute. Is you have people who that's a thing. The whole sexual what does they call it? Rorschach, help me, asphyxiation.
Yeah.
That's a thing, right? So there are those who believe, I ain't one of them, that when that actually we had a history of issues where young boys were killing themselves doing this, putting shit like belts around their neck in the closet and pleasuring themselves, wanting to get, because supposedly the story was that's the ultimate orgasm. But if you're not careful and nobody's not there to revive you, cut you down, whatever the case may be. And if it first started, I remember it was a white yuppie boy in New York, I want to say it was Central Park. It was it was like an OJ story because he had did that. And I'm going to try to look up the story about it, but that was also a thing. He was OG Patrice. He was accused of SA, but he beat. I don't even think he beat it. They didn't even take it to trial because I guess of the consensual nature of it. Because it started out consensual, and somewhere in the middle, it was just going too far. There it is. Rorschach, you've been partying like that, huh, Rorschach?
Rorschach got a lot of information. Hey, Rico, Rorschach's got a lot of information, man.
Yeah, he does. He knows too much. He knows too much. But that's a real thing. I'm fucking with him, but that is a real thing that goes on, and I say for us regular laymen, while we have to be careful, a $28 million a year, man. Shit.
Yeah, man.
Shit. I need a signed release that you begging me to choke your ass. I need a signed release and a video clip.
Text message, everything.
It's just too much at risk to do so, and he's, hopefully this hit will be a warning to the rest of them.
Yeah, and to all of us really. But let me finish this article, Rico, because it's pretty long. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. That he allegedly took consensual rough SEX too far over the course of two encounters last April and May in L.A. An L.A. judge denied the woman a permanent restraining order in August, and the L.A. County District Attorney's Office declined to file criminal charges in February. There you go. But MLB has the autonomy to suspend players without a criminal conviction. You were right, Rico. Or suspend players without a criminal conviction, and spoke to other women who also said they had been assaulted by Bauer. Hours after the suspension was announced, the Washington Post published an interview with a woman from Columbus, Ohio, who accused the pitcher of choking her unconscious. Ouch. Without her consent, dozens of times during their years-long sexual relationship. Holy smokes. This is why I don't understand. If he did it dozens of times, it should have only been one time, right?
Thank you, Patrice. You're absolutely right. The Preppy Boy trial. Hey, thank you. I was trying to remember that guy in New York. Perfect. Thank you. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Sister Patrice. The Preppy. But that's where it started. Well, that's when I guess when it became real popular in my memory. It was in New York City. It was Central Park. And did he kill her, Patrice? I think he did. I don't want to speak out of turn. I have to look it up. And that was big all over America.
Yeah, probably.
And he was trying to beat the case, saying we were having rough sex, and like, and everybody at that time, everybody was like, "This is a real thing," and it's like, yeah. Now it's like everybody every day doing this shit. So I don't know if that, I don't know if it existed before, but it seemed like it sort of opened the floodgate after that became nationally known. So that's where I think, that probably was pre-internet, right, Patrice? You can help me out. It might have been pre-internet. Oh, so he did. Oh, yeah. So he went to prison for deletion.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So let me just shout out. Rico. Marcus says, shout out to Marcus. Is this a false Me Too or no accountability on the woman for lying again? You know what? I don't know if it's that they're lying, Marcus, or they just don't have enough evidence to push it forward, or we don't know. Something happened because everybody's coming out the woodwork. So something happened, but what matters is he's not going to get paid. The league can put that the Doyers can put that $56 million back in their pocket.
Well, and then the thing is, guys, you got to understand this. I mean, in particular, the issue here is he plays a professional sport, Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball, just like the NFL, the National Football League, and the NBA, they have, what do they call it? The personal conduct policy. And this is agreed to by the union, the players' union.
Right.
So the player union for the NFL, the players' union for the NBA, the players' union for Major League Baseball, they agree to certain conditions for a certain percentage of the pie. Like in the NFL, I think it's like the owners get 51%, the players get 49%. So the percentage used to be less, but the more that they ask for money to go into their pension, money to go into their health plan, money to go into this, they agreed to give up certain rights for punishment beyond the court system, because the NFL and the NBA and Major League Baseball know it's a high bar to convict a player of a crime. So it's like criminal law, but civil law is a much lower case. So when they come up with like the personal conduct and the domestic violence policy, that's like civil law. In civil law, I don't have to prove that you did it. You need to prove that you didn't. Right. And if you can't, I can convict your ass and sentence and punish you. And that's what this is kind of synonymous with. And the players league, the players union for all of these professional sports that pay you all these millions of dollars, they agreed to it. They said, okay, whether if the guy is accused of something and whether they're convicted or not, we agree that we'll give the commissioner of these leagues discretion to hand down punishment. Now, the only chance he get possibly is through arbitration, because that's kind of like how the union says. It's like, okay, if they come down, we can appeal for arbitration. We can ask for an outside party to deem to either uphold the punishment, increase the punishment, or decrease the punishment. Most cases, they decrease it, but not by a lot. So Trevor Bauer is still probably looking at, and they may not decrease his at all because he fucking said he did it.
Yeah. Put himself at the scene of the crime, everything, huh?
He said he did it. He said we was having rough sex.
Yeah.
So, now he's gonna try to play this man. It wasn't that rough. She liked to be choked. I'm like, and maybe that might be the case. That was an expensive ass choking. $56 million. You could have choked a lot of motherfuckers for that. I hope it was worth it. That's all I'm saying.
I hope it was worth it. All right, Rico, come on. Let's go. Let me shout out Big Rick Slaps. Big Rick says, shout out to the panel, people in the chat. Big Rick Slaps in the building. Salute. Big Riggs, man. You was doing the Lord's work last night, man. Appreciate you, brother. What you were doing for JP. You did the Lord's work last night, brother. I said, man, this man is moving mountains down here. All right. Marcus says, maybe it's a conspiracy to target athletes, group up, squad up discreetly and come up maybe a fat check. It's important to believe in due process, innocent until proven guilty.
Marcus, no. I love you, brother. I love you, brother. Don't die on this hill. There's no due process. There's no due process in civil law. Criminal law, there's due process. There's no due process in civil law, and there's no due process in these domestic violence policy. A policy is just that, a policy. It's whatever the fuck I say it is. There's no due process does not apply to everything. That's all I'm saying. So you're right in that's wishful thinking, sir.
Now this is one that I highlighted it. Rico called you an expert on the matter. I highlighted it, Rojak. Okay, but this one is really important. Okay, Marcus says, I wonder who handles the documents for the PC policy and NDAs if there are recordings as well. See, here's the thing about the NDAs that they don't tell you. And the NDA, how do you enforce that? What are you going to do? If you tell a woman, hey, what is going to be a penalty for them? You're going to cut them off if they tell, right? Okay, so let's say you have a woman, you say, okay, look, I'm going to give you some hush money. I'm going to give you $100,000 if you be quiet, right? So you give the woman the $100,000. She signs the NDA. Then a place like TMZ says, we'll give you $500,000 to come tell your story, and we'll take care of any of your legal fees. What is the woman gonna do? They're gonna forget your NDA. Your NDA is worth nothing. That's what these guys don't. They think. And then okay, so let's say you're gonna sue the woman. What does she have to sue? She don't even have the first $100,000.
I was going to say that an NDA is no guarantee of silence.
Yeah,
it is no guarantee. Just like people believe a prenup is unlike, it's no guarantee. It's one avenue of trying something. But thank you, Patrice. You're absolutely right. I didn't know he did 15 years, but that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I think I remember this. Yeah.
I think they found her, Patrice, if I'm not mistaken. I think they found the white girl, of course, white guy with a white girl, and I think they found her to a tree in Central Park. Yeah, they was having sex in the park. They were doing some freaky, kinky shit, rough sex in the park, rough sex, and I believe they found her. You know, he ran off when she fucking didn't wake up and left her there. And of course, you know, I don't know if she came from money either, but I know that was the issue. He was white.
Did she pass away?
Family. Huh?
Did she pass away?
Yeah, he deleted her.
Holy smokes.
That was part of the act. I think he stop.
Oh man. Oh man.
Oh shit! Too long.
So good.
You know, that's why I say, you know, yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys, we're gonna jump back into the article, y'all. Yeah. Let's see. Let me bring it back up. Oh, let me bring it back up. All right, where we at here? She is the third woman to accuse Bauer of SCX assault. The Post reported that she spoke to MLB as part of its investigation of Bauer's conduct before the league issued its discipline. Bauer strongly denied those allegations through his social media accounts.
Social media.
Yeah.
So didn't we just have a conversation the other day about doing shit on social media? Okay.
We did, man. And you know now this dude getting paid $28 million a year. You know he got lawyers telling him don't do nothing. Don't be on social media. Don't do nothing. But he did it anyway. All right, so Bauer joined the Dodgers on a 3-year, $102 million contract in February of 2021 on the heels of winning the National League Cy Young Award during the COVID-19 shortened 2020 season. He spent the last 81 regular season games on the administrative leave plus an additional 18 to begin the 2022 season. But his 324 game suspension doesn't begin until Friday, meaning he doesn't get credit for previous time served. Ouch. Bauer's suspension, if it holds through the appeal process, will last until the 19th game of the 2024 season, by which point his 3-year contract with the Dodgers will have expired. Ouch. The Dodgers will have saved the $28+ million that remains on his contract in 2022, and the full. He gets paid $32 on the next one. Oh, holy smoke! In the next year, a full $32 million on his contract in 2023. So how much is that altogether, Rico? That is $60 million. Holy smoke! Bauer was immediately placed on the restricted list and can't be around the team, even with a grievance hearing pending. The Dodgers are not allowed to release Bauer until after his suspension ends.
Okay, let's skip down to the today we were informed. We already know all that long-winded right there. This is the part where the business comes in.
Okay, today we were informed that MLB has concluded its investigation of the allegations that have been made against Trevor Bauer. The commissioner has issued his decision regarding discipline.
Very important. Listen. Now, from this word on, very important.
Organization takes on all allegations of this nature very seriously and does not condone or excuse any acts of domestic violence or SCX assault. We've cooperated fully with the MLB's investigation since it began. We fully support the MLB's joint domestic violence, SCX assault, and child abuse policy and the commissioner's enforcement of the policy. We understand that Trevor has the right to appeal the commissioner's decision. Therefore, we will not comment further until the process is complete. Bauer is the 16th player suspended since August 2015 when MLB and the MLB Players Association unveiled their joint domestic violence, SCX assault, and child abuse policy, which grants MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred the autonomy to suspend players under just cause. Now, you're going to need to explain that, Rico, because you're in the legal field, but hold on. The prior suspensions, not counting that of former reliever Felipe Vasquez, who is serving a jail sentence for SCX assault of a 13-year-old girl, have ranged from 15 to 162 games and were the result of negotiated settlements in which players waived their right to appeal. Bauer pitched on June 28th of last year.
Go through all the rest of that. We've covered enough of it.
Okay. We all got the message.
Yeah, because they're gonna go back and forth, this, that, and whatever. But we get the gist of what Major League Baseball said. You saw what the Dodgers said.
The Dodgers.
And they lean into, we support the domestic violence thing because, again, it's a business.
And baseball is a family atmosphere, bro.
It's a family business. And what he did, what he admitted he did,
right?
He said it was consensual, but minus the semantics, if they believe the women that, and none of the women said they were raped. They said they were assaulted. Basically, we've had this discussion the last couple of days about no means no, stop means stop. What the fuck does it take to get through? I don't know. And like I told Clarence, throw them in the fucking trash if they don't get it. Because I'm tired of talking about it. It's 2022. If you're not getting it and you still want to sit there and argue the point and you still want to go, I'm smarter than everybody else, throw the motherfucker in the trash. I don't care. I don't care. So, yes, an accusation alone, not the accusation, and an admitted accusation can ruin your career. There's no position on his part.
He admitted to the consensual part of the sex, though. I think, Rico. I don't think he admitted to the going overboard.
No, he doesn't admit to that. But obviously, he placed himself there. He placed himself in the middle of the act.
Correct.
And whatever the potential claim is, Major League Baseball did an investigation. So they didn't just listen to their word. I guarantee you, the professional investigators that Major League Baseball, you know who they hire as investigators? Former police officers, former FBI agents.
FBI,
okay, guys, stop acting like they're getting Pookie and Ray Ray off the fucking corner. They're not. They're not doing that. They're hiring professionals who have been doing this shit in law enforcement.
Right.
They're also dealing with professional counselors, all of this. They spare no expense because you know what Major League Baseball and the NFL and the NBA is? They don't give a fuck about Trevor Bauer. They're trying to cover their ass.
Right.
So they need to say, we had the top investigators. We had the top fucking doctors. We had the top this, the top league. That's what they need to show. Because if they poo-poo it and brush it under the rug and come to find out this motherfucker's a habitual offender and they ignored it, No. Do you understand? I don't give a fuck about one player. They give a fuck about the league.
Right.
The league. That's what's more important. As the NFL says, protect the shield.
Right.
No one person is bigger than the shield. Guess who also didn't get charged and didn't go to jail, Clarence? Who did I tell you? Ray Rice. Ray Rice. Yeah. And he knocked that bitch out in that elevator and we all saw it.
We all saw that.
He didn't get charged, but get him out of here.
Yeah.
Get him out of here.
In that case,
another snap.
I think by the time the video came out, he was already married, Rico. If I'm not
Didn't matter.
No, but you need the wife to testify
for criminal.
Okay, right.
For criminal.
That's what I'm saying.
She wasn't going to testify anyway. But guess what Goodell said?
You're out of here. Yeah.
That was it.
That was the only thing really he had to do.
Get him out of here. That was it. And like I also told you too, guess who did go to jail, got out, and they still almost couldn't fucking stay in the league.
Yeah, Vic.
Michael Vick. For fucking fighting some dogs.
Dogs, man. That's
he went to jail for almost 15 months.
You think about it, it's crazy, right? Here's a dude, man. I mean, he just pummeled the girl in the elevator, man. Just knocked her out in the elevator, drug her out of it, and he doesn't go to jail. Michael Vick goes to jail for fighting dogs.
Still didn't want to. They're not playing.
Sound crazy when you just say it like that up.
What the fuck does it take to get through?
Man. All right, Rico. Let me do some shout outs. We got Quantum in the house. Quantum says, Rico is so animated. I know. Wait till you on the phone with him. Oh my God. Goddamn clear.
Quantum, I'm not lying though. Am I lying? That's all I ask you. Am I lying? Am I lying? If I'm lying, let me know.
He doesn't lie. I will give him that. He doesn't lie. But he's loud. All right, I think I got everything. Everybody said. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Okay, now Rico, I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you. You got a lot of experience in the legal field, so I got a question for you. What is just cause? We just read that the commissioner does not have to have any
just
charges or anything like that to be able to rescind contracts. So what does that mean?
Short reason is just cause. Just cause means you have a reason.
Okay.
So with that, like normally, like when people get terminated, you get terminated for cause or terminated for no cause. So basically, sometimes people get terminated for no cause. The company's just fucking downsizing. We just ain't got no fucking work for you. You didn't do anything. But we still gotta let you go. So in right to work states, they don't need a reason to let people go. It's called what is the term? High employment at will. That's the term they use. It's called employment at will. So people get a job and they think, "Oh, this is my job. You can't fire me." I'm like, no, it's called employment at will. And employment at will is basically, we've always had the premise that an employee can quit anytime.
Right.
You an employee, you want to quit. So jobs say, well, we want the ability to be able to let go people at any time without any particular reason. So a lot of private companies today, it's called employment at will. They can let you go. Whether or not they give you severance, they're not required to.
Right.
Because the law is you're an employee at will. When I no longer need you, I can let you go. This is very big for independent contractors and so on and so forth. But for cause is different because when you go to file at your unemployment office or EEOC, oftentimes you can sue an employer for firing you or letting you go. Same thing with Major League Baseball, for without cause, meaning no reason. So when they say just cause, we have a just reason for letting the employee go. So the suspension is for just cause. We didn't suspend Trevor Bauer because we woke up today and had a wild hair up our ass, or baseball tickets weren't selling, or things got slow. He got suspended for some shit he did.
Right.
And typically when you have a cause, you strengthen the employer's position for reasons to not pay you or to give you severance or to give you benefits, because if it was not for your action, we wouldn't have done this.
Right.
So the Dodgers, as you call them, are saying we did this because of your ass, not because of us. Right. And that's what just cause is you gave us a reason to do this. If you hadn't given us a reason, we ain't suspend nobody else. Right. And what was the reason? This rough, consensual, disputed sex.
Yeah.
The act of, did it cross over from the line of consensual sex to sex assault? So that's the premise. I think the women are saying was like, yes, I consented to have sex with him. I consented to be choked a little bit.
Right.
That motherfucker went crazy. Right. I didn't consent to him damn near killing me.
Right.
And I think that that's what the argument is. And I'm not taking either side. I'm just trying to present the argument that society will still pass a sentence on you young men, whether it's you can say, hey, I'm not going to go to jail, but you can still lose your job. What do we call it nowadays? What do everybody cry about? Oh, cancel culture. That's society saying, fuck you. We don't care what the criminal system said. We done with you. So yeah, people get canceled every day. You a celebrity, you a big, oh, they canceled me. I don't believe it. Then motherfuckers stop doing shit, stop doing stuff that's risky. So you can't say, I agree with you, Rorschach. Right, civil law and criminal law. Most people are upset at the power. Yes, but people cancel people. Men cancel men. Women cancel women. So I agree with you, Rorschach. I know you red pill, and I'm with you, brother. I'm with you 75% of the way. That yes, some women out there take advantage of it. They abuse the system. I agree with you, sir. But I ain't going 100% with you because, unfortunately, for the 75% of the women who abuse it, I still have to take into account of the 25% that's not abusing it, and there's a fuckboy over there doing some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm just sitting there saying. So you want to fight the 75 fight that. I'm still thinking about the 25% of especially women of color who are victims of DV, SA, and everything else. Yeah. And most people act like they don't give a shit about. They just and these women going having to live with trauma for the rest of their life. It's not fair. That's all. So, but other than that, you goddamn Rorschach, I'm gonna find you a sister. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna find you a black woman. You getting close. You getting close, Rorschach.
Okay, Rico. So this guy, because of his decision to have just rough sex, he is now going to cost himself $60 million. He cost himself
absolutely
$60 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it? And how can these young guys avoid this type of situation? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Rico. Okay, so how can we avoid these types of situations, right? I mean, if you got a young man that's in the league, in the baseball league or in any of these leagues, right? How can you avoid this? Well, the first thing is NBA is not going to avoid it. I mean, you can get it signed. It can be what do you call that?
No, I'm back. No, I want to answer your question, okay? Because that was a great freaking question, okay?
Okay.
So I'm gonna say this, okay? Perfect example. How would you tell a motherfucker to walk through a minefield?
Very slowly.
And gingerly.
Yes.
That's it. It's like I don't know why they don't see that in 2022, this dating and this sexual market, it's a fucking minefield.
Yeah.
It just is. How many other people got to get blown up before you decide you're going to go, it's like, come on. Nobody's not going to be like, you wouldn't see a person walking nonchalantly through a minefield or a bunch of people walking nonchalantly through a minefield without a care in the world. And when they get blowed up, you can go, it's so unfair. And the field was marked minefield.
Right.
You would look at them like, the fuck is wrong with y'all? People don't go through minefield that way. Usually, when soldiers see a minefield, the first thing they do is they look for a way around it.
Right.
They completely avoid it. Right, Mr. Marcus? 1000%. You come up on a minefield, oh, fuck, I don't care how far, because you don't know where the landmines are. You try to go around it. And if you must go through it, you call in EOD, whatever, and if EOD's not around, you go to that motherfucker gingerly, slowly, cautiously, preventively as possible. Because the last thing you want to do is to blow your fucking self up. But these guys are like, I'm going to go whistling, head up in the sky, sashaying, booty calling, doing the electric slide through the fucking minefield. And then when they get blowed up, it's just like, I'm just sitting there saying to myself, I don't get it. Go ahead.
Rico. How, see, because we're saying, oh, yeah, you know, me and you in our 50s are saying, yeah, just be, you know, just don't do it. But these guys are in their 20s, most of them, and they got their hormones raging, and they've been hypersexualized. How do they get around this? How do they're not listening to us, right?
They don't get around it any better than we did, in the fact that they just have to go through cautiously. They just do. You know, the part of the problem is, I think, in 2022 is the problems are not new, and they think solutions are new, and they're not. It's the same solutions. You have to take your time, be careful, vet, you know, work on yourself and your own needs. I mean, that's all it is. And that's what Mr. Bauer's going to find out. He's just going to find out $60 million less.
Yeah.
He's going the exact same thing that I'm saying now. He's going to find out $60 million less. He's going to end up in the exact same space. $60 million less. That's all I'm saying.
That is a very expensive lesson.
He'll be like, why didn't you tell me? I told you before. Now you got it. $60 million less. That's it.
Yeah.
Michael Vick, the dog fighting. That was nothing new. He just found out after it fucked his whole career. It just did. They had the guy for the Saints, the middle linebacker. Somebody tell me. They got all them great charges on all those women. And he was a great middle linebacker. And I was like, to hear all the shit he was doing. He was doing some crazy, I want to say Darren Sharp.
Maybe.
And he had been doing some really crazy shit. Darren Sharp. He's in jail now. He's done about 30 years. Look up Darren Sharp. You see him?
Yeah. Safety. Darren Sharp.
Okay. New Orleans Saints, right?
The quarterback.
Played for a couple of teams. He finished with the Saints.
Yeah, looked like he did.
What are he doing? About 30 years?
Having agreed to plead guilty or either no contest to ARPing or attempting to ARP 9 women in 4 states.
Yeah, he got like 30, 40 years, 50 years. He was, I want to say, he made on the Super Bowl.
Darren Sharper will serve about 9 more years in prison and will be eligible for parole in about 2024.
Yeah. He was done 15, 20. I want to say he was on their Super Bowl team.
Oh, yeah. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of so here's the question. Now we did a stream on Kaylan Walker. We did a stream on we're doing the stream now on Trevor Bauer. I think we've done streams like this before. I just can't remember.
Both for celebrities that squandered opportunities.
Okay. So this is my question, Rico. What is happening? Patrice, I've been to send you this link, Patrice. Right when I first saw your name, I sent you the link.
We need some wisdom up here because I'm struggling up here with the old Negrosaurus. OG.
How do we get around it? And we need, and Patrice, we need a female's perspective on how to get around this stuff, because we're only thinking as guys. But how as a female would you teach a group of men how to in the NBA? I think the NFL has the same thing. I think MLB has the same thing, but they have the rookie symposium, right? And I think
they don't listen. They do it every year, but they don't listen.
Yeah, they don't listen, right? They tell them how to deal with their money. They tell them how to deal with this and they don't listen, man. They just go do whatever they want. Maybe 10% of them might actually listen to what's actually being told to them and put it into practice, right? But a lot of these guys, they just do their own thing. My question is, Why not listen? If you got so many dudes that get caught in the landmine field, why not listen?
Because I'm smarter than everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
I just don't know why that's not registering with me. It ain't gonna happen to me.
It ain't gonna happen to me. And if it does happen to me, I'll just talk my way out of it. It ain't gonna be nothing.
You're not gonna believe it. Hey, but look, good. You send it to Patrice?
I already sent it to her.
Okay.
But let me double check you to make sure. Maybe I did something
and
crazy.
I want to go to the other guy because I want to bring the Jacksons in when Patrice come up. She in the entertainment industry. How that whole topic taps in.
Okay.
Which I thought.
Okay. Let me look up the Jacksons.
What player.
Give
yeah, Givanildo de Sousa.
All right, let's
this
do that.
This is a very interesting story, and I'm okay. And Marcus and Rorschach, I want to hear your thoughts. Hey, sister.
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
You ain't gonna do that to me.
What's going on, sis? How you doing?
You ain't gonna do that to me. You can't.
How y'all doing this Saturday?
You put a cam up for me, sis.
Today is Saturday. I'm being lazy right now.
Hey,
like,
no,
okay, that's fine.
I'm special, Street. I'm special. Not him. I'm special.
I got you next time, bro, Rico. I got you next time.
I was happy to watch you and to see. She's beautiful, like I thought she was, and I'm so happy to see you have done it. And I was like, okay, so I had to beg for it. So
I got you next time, bro Rico. Don't worry about it. I got you. But bro Clarence saw me on another channel and he was jelly. So I said, you ain't gotta be jelly. I said, I'm gonna cam up for you. Don't be jelly.
I saw you on that one too. I was jelly too. He was jelly.
I got y'all. Y'all know y'all my brothers. I love y'all. Now I got a question though I want to ask because I know I was a little late to the game, but I thought I read something or heard you guys say or heard Bro Clarence read something where she had went back after the accusation, or what did I miss, or something about, because somebody said, well, why? Yeah.
She said that he was too rough with the sex two times. So the question he was asking was, why would she go back the second time if he was too rough the first time?
Right.
Yeah, and that is the problem a lot of times that a lot of women have, right, with thinking that they can talk a man down or talk him, say, hey, it was a little rough this time, maybe take it easy, or thinking that they can change the dynamic of the thinking of a man when he's his sexual desires is of that nature, right? So women need to stop fooling themselves about a lot of things about men when they show them who they are. When he did that, there shouldn't have been a second time with that woman coming back thinking, well, maybe if I mention it to him, he won't be so rough next time. And he may have even told her, well, I won't be so rough next time. But when they get in the act and the adrenaline is running and his thinking of sex is in that content, then maybe that's why it don't matter in the moment to that man. Because he listen, men will tell women anything when they want to get the cat, right? They will lie. They will say whatever. They will do whatever when they want to get the cat, right? And women need to quit fooling themselves and thinking that they can change a man's mind, talk him down, control the narrative when it comes to that a lot of times sexually, and it cannot be. It cannot happen. So that was shame on her. The dog bite you once, shame on the dog. The dog bite you twice, shame on you.
Yeah.
So
that's exactly what I was telling Clarence. I said, I think maybe she thought after the first time it wouldn't be so bad, and then all of a sudden, so that was my thought.
Absolutely.
That's on me.
And it could even start out where the woman may like it in the beginning, maybe a little rough. I don't know what that scenario may be, but if it gets a little bit too out of hand, where it's going into some type of dominatrix, slave master, submission type of thing, and it gets a little bit too rough when it comes to the choking part of it, then now she's like, okay, no, this is this is where I draw my line, dude. Like you doing too much right here. So now I'm opting out. I'm saying stop or whatever. And sometimes that man, if he's into that and he's so far gone into that, he don't even hear what she's saying.
Yep. Right. And that's true. Go ahead, Clarence.
All right. So Marcus says, let's not be disingenuous, though. There's plenty of women who want it rough and demanded rough from the man, BDSM masochist.
Of course, yes. Nobody's denying that, Marcus. No, we're not saying that. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's women that are totally into that, totally into it. They will let the man go as far as whatever. I've heard those things.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret, right? I swear to God, I've told you guys that, prior to me being married, I was in the lifestyle. There was a whole lot of women that asked me to do shit. And I politely and forcefully told them bitches, no.
I can believe that. No. I've heard a lot of men, like my brothers and them, have conversations where they said that they had a line that they drew when it was women that was into certain stuff, and they was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. So
and especially OG Patrice, if she had no melon in her. Are you out of your motherfucking mind?
Exactly.
You don't have
exactly
on your neck, bitch. You done lost your fucking mind.
Yeah.
No.
Shout out to Daryl.
No, it wasn't even a question of it. Was the fact that I never lost sight of my freedom. I never lost sight of it. I grew up in a generation where black men was accused of doing something to non-melanated fucking women.
Absolutely.
No
Absolutely.
way in fuck was a white
and it's
woman.
Like you said, it's definitely dangerous for a black man to do that. Mind? Yeah, it's very dangerous.
I have a lot of sisters asking me, the white man, bitch, you better go get that white boy to choke your ass. I ain't doing it, and you ain't choking me either. Because I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing. Because I grew up during the era, I want to say the preppy guy was, what year was that, Patrice?
Oh, 90s? 90s, I want to say
early 90s or late
80s. Early to mid, I believe 90s when that happened. I forget the year, but they were I think they were in college when this happened.
Right. But that was Central Park in New York.
It was
right?
Central Park, Central Park.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Tied up. I think it was either
the conversation being around about the rough sex, because up until then nobody was ever talking about it. People might have been doing it, but then when that happened, he was like, no, it was consensual, and people were like, you choked to the death? Who does that? And everybody was like, who does that? You must be a freak, you an animal. And then kind of find out like, oh shit, it's a lot of white people doing that shit.
Yeah, they've been into it for a long time.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah, and I believe that it's possible to some extent that it was consensual, but I believe when it got a little bit, like I said, when men get a little bit too rough and the women is saying stop and begging and plead, and the man is caught all up in it, that's what I believe possibly could have happened with the case with the preppy boy. But from what you hear, the other side of the story where they was like, no, she was very quiet and timid. She wasn't into that. But sometimes them be the ones. So I don't know. But I just know that young lady ended up, deleted, and he ran away from the situation. And you know what I'm saying? Instead of facing it, calling to get help. You know what I mean? Because they said she was alive for a while. She was unconscious, and then I guess she slipped into a coma and she died at some point. But that case was so huge, and because they both came from privileged backgrounds, and and they both were the same race, he ended up taking a plea, 15 years for first-degree manslaughter, and I don't even think he served the full 15 years.
But that was huge. I'm so glad you remember that because that's exactly 1000% how it went. And that's why I said that's similar. Fortunately, this young Mr. Bauer didn't delete anybody, but the way he described it, I'm like, okay, this shit. And now it's just like, oh, it's into adult film and everything. I'm like, all right, but I'm like,
oh yeah, it's a norm. Listen, this is normal sexual behavior with a lot of people nowadays.
You better be careful.
Yep.
You better be careful. I still tell a young black man, if it's your ass and you got a non-melanated woman in bed, don't think they won't go back and you be the black preppy. And that just stuck with us growing up. I'm not trying to be no preppy. I ain't putting my hands nowhere. I ain't tying nobody up. Fuck the handcuffs. Fuck the ropes.
Well, it's a young man now that's serving. How many years did they give him? I think like 12 years. And these was just teenage kids, young black teenage boy with a white teenage girl. He never even touched this girl. I think they kissed. But do you know he's in prison right now for allegedly? Yeah. And there was no evidence that they even had sex. Okay. Yeah. And exactly. And he is in prison right now. And he's a teenage black boy for a white girl. Yes.
Like I said, they got the instances, like I was telling Clarence, I was like, that's why I know that whole choking thing it might have been maybe 10, 15 years ago, where all these primarily young, non-melanated boys were self-deleting themselves, trying to pleasure themselves through self-asphyxiation.
Yeah. I don't get it.
And you come home and you open the closet and you find this motherfucker in the closet with no pants on.
Yeah, pants hanging down or no pants at all, and it's like you trying to get the highest peak of pleasure that way. Like I don't like that's a warped sense of I don't know. That's just me, but
no, Patrice and Clarence. Okay, I'm gonna fuck with us three. Okay, you young folks don't know nothing about this, right? You young folks, be quiet. Just sit back and be quiet. I'm gonna tell you, Patrice, I'm gonna date us. One of my favorite motherfucking TV stars of all time did that shit to himself in Thailand.
Who's that?
David Carradine.
You're right.
The motherfucker from Kung Fu. Remember Kung Fu?
Right. Yeah.
Patrice, Kung Fu. The white guy that played as a Shaolin monk, look up David Carradine. They found that motherfucker in Thailand in a hotel in the closet.
But I got a question for Patrice.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, Rico, we know. Patrice, I got a question. Oh man, I had a good question for her.
Well, she'll come back.
Let me ask you, Rico. Let me ask you.
That's real shit. You know, when people don't sit there and want to talk about it. So that's been pervasive for a while.
Yeah, man. But see, the thing is with them, a lot of them have they have anxieties about actually speaking what they want to do. Instead of speaking it, they live so long hiding it that eventually it catches up to them and they do something like that because they can't express it because they feel like they're gonna be ostracized by telling somebody, hey, this is what I want to do. The average woman's gonna be like, what? That's weird. Hell no, get away from me. Right? I was listening to a radio one time out here. They have Stevie Wonder station KJLH out here, and people was telling their little stories, right? So the dude tells a story about how he was with this girl, man. He had been seeing her for a while. They had been messing around, but they had never really gotten all the way down to actually, doing the deed, right? So he said he had finally got her and, was ready to do the deed with her and everything was good. Everything was working out fine. And so he was with her, and then he could tell that she wasn't into it. And he was like, what's wrong? Am I doing something wrong? And what's the matter? I could tell you're not really, into it. And he thought it might be an issue with, his size or something like that. And she was like, no, I'm used to something else. I'm used to something else. And so he said, well, what are you used to? What's going on? He said, She said, well, if you really want me to enjoy it, you got to beat me. And he was like, what?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, you gotta beat me.
Yeah.
And then he said it clicked in his head, like he said, because he was wondering, why is a girl that looked this good by herself? You know what I'm saying? Not with nobody.
Yeah. Yep.
People got all kinds of different things going on, man.
Yeah, you get people who are into a lot of different kinks.
Okay, so let me ask you, Rico, because I was going to ask Patrice.
Some of it has started, when they were children.
Yeah.
So you don't always know where your sexual partner's behavior or their sexual training has come from. So it's we all look at our partner and believe that they haven't done anything more decadent than what we have or anything more outlandish. So we'll set ourselves as the marker, and then come to find out like later on that like, oh, you ain't scratched the fucking surface. I mean, and that's a it's just so, especially when you're starting to deal with people from different cultures. When you start bringing in cultures, it gets even wilder.
Hey, Rico, what about this one? I've never done this before in my whole life. Like a Hoover, a vacuum, right? You're like, whoa,
I mean,
whoa.
You get people, again, like I said, is I hate it and I feel bad about it. You get people who have. I'm not even gonna say about anything because some of this shit is just gross.
Yeah, some people are really traumatized, man. They need some help. I agree.
And I don't
sorry guys, I was struggle streaming, but I do know about the David Carradine. And what is your question? Somebody said, "Hey, a question."
No, but I was saying, you remember what happened to him, right? Wasn't it Thailand?
Yeah, David Carradine. Yes,
same thing, right?
Yep, yeah.
Self-deletion.
Rico, she wasn't hearing my question, Rico.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. So, Patrice, what would you say? Because I know that counselors, they have things like what they call safe words, right? If you're going too far and I say this word,
counseling,
that means stop. Yeah, like marriage counselors or
no. That's
marriage counselors.
I think you're talking about in the sex stuff. I'm like, that's not counselors. That's just
no. I'm just saying that just people that try to find a happy medium for the situation, they have what they call safe words.
But you mean in the middle of sex?
Yes.
That's not counselors. That's just your partner.
They have it for sex, they have it for arguments, they have it for any kind of like a serious situation that might be going on, where you have a word that you can say, and the other person, once they hear that word,
in the middle of the sex, it's the partner determines. Like, and what I'm saying is just a little bit of experience. Different people, like I could be with somebody. I could be with somebody and they can have a safe word. And each time you have an encounter with them, you need to ask them what their safe word, because it's not the same safe word every time. The chick
I don't know. It depends on the relationship.
I'm telling you, like today, her safe word might be cow. And then I'm there the next time and I'm waiting to hear cow. And she's like, no, my safe word is bird. And I'm like, I hear bird and I'm just still going. It's like, no, you.
Yeah, but Rico, if you have that kind of relationship where you're able to share that kind of information, and so it should be no problem. You go, okay, today's safe word is dog, like Sesame Street, right? Mm-hmm. Today's word is cat or whatever, right? You should be able to share that. My question for Patrice is, what do you think? See, because women, a lot of times, like you said, I believe you're right, Patrice. They walking into these situations thinking, oh, the guy cares about me. He loves me. Once he sees me struggling, he'll stop.
Clarence,
but that ain't the case, right?
You're confused.
So what do you think
that's not a safe
situation from the woman's side?
But Clarence, that's not a safe word thing. And I understand what you're saying. You're saying an ordinary woman that's not into the kink. Safe words is for people who are into kinks.
No, I'm talking about the people that's into the kink.
If
But
they're into the kink,
goes
they
too
have
far.
to no, if they're into the kink, they must verbalize what the safe word is. So if
That's what I'm saying, Rico.
you get what I'm saying?
Well, let me say this. Let me say this, gentlemen, to try to cut the argument. Okay, like I got some friends in the life, right, in entertainment, right, that into like all kind of wild kinky shit.
Yes.
There have been safe words, but there has also been sign that I've heard that they've done, because if they mouths are gagged, they use the tapping thing.
Yes.
Now I've heard them say that.
Yeah.
I've heard that that plateau is a tap if they mouths are taped up or bondaged up,
Yes.
right? And then if it's not, then there's a safe word that they use.
Yes.
But the question is, what happens is when that is not adhered to, because that has happened before.
Well,
From what I've been told, I've been told by some friends that's in that life, because I told my experience with people I know in the entertainment industry that are into swinging, they are into bi, they are into poly, they are into menage a trois, they are into all kinds of lifestyles, right? Right, S&M, you know, all of that, dominatrix, like the whole nine, right? And just hearing from conversations that I've heard them have in talking couple, exactly.
Women who want to see their
partner switching, like, I mean, all of it, right? So there has been words that has been used, safe words, like Bro Clarence said. But if they are into the bondage part where the mouth is tied up and bunged and they can't talk, they have tapping. They either tap with the hand or tap with the feet, or I've heard all these kind of stories, y'all. And I'm just literally saying what I've heard. I don't, you know, and I would think that would make sense if somebody's mouth is in bondage and they can't speak. Then if anything is free where they can use it, whether it's their hands or their feet, then they need to do something, right?
But Patrice,
and what I was trying to tell
Clarence,
all
of their limbs are tied up? What if all of their limbs are tied up?
You still have to negotiate this shit before you start. You don't start to play.
Agree.
But see, this is the thing.
Play with people until you negotiate
right
everything.
now it's
going to hit a breaking point.
And it's been my experience that conversations I had prior to it happening, right? That like these people that live these lifestyles have to have the, well, for the most part, they should have the conversations, and they would have to have conversation, and they will let you know everything. If you a beginner, see, this is the thing. When back in the day, when I first got in entertainment, when I started hearing about it, they had levels: beginners, intermediate, how advanced are you into the lifestyle, right? If they knew that you were new trying this type of lifestyle, they wasn't even taking you to the advanced level right away. They will take you to the level in which, if you are a beginner to intermediate to advanced level. Like, I know somebody that was definitely into the whole choking thing in the entertainment industry, right? But you have to bring that person up to that. Because are you into the choking until the whole thing with a submission of being unconscious? See, that's the level right there where it is dangerous. And you can't take a beginner. Say if you just start, meet this young lady and you start dating her and you into that lifestyle, she's never done that before. You can't take her all the way there. You shouldn't anyway. And if she say, well, I would like to try it, you take her at the beginning stage. You don't take her all the way to where you choking her to where she's unconscious. Like, it used to be, and I'm gonna say this, even back when the porn industry back in the 80s, it used to be, there was respect and loyalty in that industry where you didn't overstep the bounds. Now it's late over the last 20, 30 years, it's been out of control with what people will do and what will allow to happen. And it's not only men. Let me just be clear. It's not only men that have went too far. It's women too.
Yeah. Well, here's the crazy part about it, Patrice, right? And here's the thing, Clarence. So when you get into that BDSM, right? A lot of times people want to be spanked. If you don't cover everything before you start, your ass going to jail. You're leaving marks on people.
Yeah.
You're leaving bruises and marks. You're gagging people. You're doing all kinds of shit. So you went too far. She did a safe word. She did a motion. You didn't stop. The police come. You're going to fucking jail. Full stop. So the whole I didn't know. Then nobody gives a fuck. If you don't know what you're doing, don't play. Okay. That's why the word is called play. You need to know how your partner, where they want to be pushed and where their boundaries are. And if you're not willing to take the time to respect that and know that before, go to fucking jail. No one cares. The same way if you're in a non-lifestyle relationship and you decide, because some of these young men get overly aggressive.
Right.
If you can't ascertain when a young lady, when you trying to put your hands down her pants and she's trying to push you off and you're bigger and you're strong and she's telling you no and she's telling you to stop and you know the little young boy's trying to finger her and you keep going, go to fucking jail. No one cares. If you can't pick up the fucking signals or the signs that they're saying stop, that is not on the victim's responsibility that, well, she came into your room. Fuck that shit. Miss me with that shit.
No, Rico.
Yeah, I agree with Rico. You can't say she came up to my room. That don't mean she was asking to get great.
Your motherfucking liberty is at freedom, at stake, not hers. Right. She's not gonna go to jail for giving you the pussy. You won't go to jail for taking it.
Right. I get
exactly.
It.
So I don't want to hear that shit.
All I'm saying is this. So if she's in a regular situation
if
where
you can't read the signs, leave. If you can't figure it out,
it's gonna be easy, Rico. Just listen. It's gonna be easy to read the signs when you're just having regular sex with somebody. There's no extra things around.
But that's most of the cases.
But that's what I'm saying.
Go to jail. It's regular sex.
But here's the thing. Some people have, like Patrice was saying, they have evolved into where they've gotten to a point where regular sex ain't gonna get it for them. They gotta
read the signs. And if you can't read the signs, you go into fucking jail. No one cares that regular sex doesn't get it.
Sometimes there ain't gonna be no signs because their mouth is tied up, their eyes are covered,
then you going to jail.
Arms are tied behind their back.
If all of that
That's
happened,
what I'm saying.
If all of that happened and you didn't fucking take the time before you engaged in that to go through everything that you need to go to, then you run the risk of going to jail. Boo,
I agree.
Fucking who?
I agree. That's what both people should do. What I'm saying is, what can a woman do? Even doing all of what you just said, Rico, which is true, what they should do as a group. But what can the woman do to try to protect herself even further?
Don't play. It's not for everybody. It's not for everybody. If you're not prepared to take that,
I agree because especially if
it's not for every fucking body. It's a small percentage of society that does this. Everybody else, stay the fuck out of it. It's not for you. It just
especially physically, we all know that men are stronger than women, and if the woman is put in the weakest position sexually, she has almost zero to no chance, right?
And then look, here's the crazy part about it. BDSM works both ways. There are women who tie up men. So you can let your wife hog tie you.
That's true.
Pull your pants down, have your ass up in the air with a ball gag in your fucking mouth.
No.
Mask. Because you don't know who gonna come up there behind you and stick something. Because when you do that, you
blindfolded and you can't talk. Your head.
When you decide to do that, you trust your partner.
Mm-hmm.
If some man run up there and stick something in your ass, then that's on you. You decided you wanted to play. There it is.
Yeah, because now you're the weakest link.
I was just situation.
Just know that when you put yourself in that position in any way, you are leaving yourself very vulnerable, and you are the weakest link for anybody to do anything that they want to do with you and your body, and you can't do nothing about it because you can't break loose from those ties. You can't scream because your mouth is bound. You're blindfolded, so you don't even know if that's the person that's really doing it to you. If you're blindfolded, you don't listen. I have heard stories where people have walked into the room and they didn't even know it was another person doing things to their body because they were blindfolded. Now, I'm telling you, when you allow yourself to become that vulnerable to a person, you are the weakest link. And if something happens,
but oftentimes those people want that sense of they want that heightened sense of vulnerability. Why? That's the turn on. That's the turn on for them. People who decide to play like that, that's the turn on.
Yeah, people with minds like that, yeah, they on a whole nother level. It's above my pay grade.
That is the turn on for them, is that they want to be exposed that way. So you can't go, well, what about that? No, fuck that shit. And if you're the person, again, if someone gives you that vulnerability, you need to protect yourself and say, look, this person is being extremely vulnerable, and maybe they'll get so turned on that they have a fucking heart attack. You know what they usually do before people want to get tied up in bondage and witness, in dungeons? You know what they usually do? They video them. They video them for consent.
Oh, okay.
Because people can have heart attacks and die. So when the police come, you tied up, your ass all bundled, then you dead, right? So
I actually know somebody that happened to. Like I know that happened to a guy that I know for real. Like he is no longer here because of something that happened during the act of that. So
but you better get their video permission asking for that to protect.
Yeah, he had a heart attack, straight up. Yes. He had a heart attack.
This shit happens.
Listen, everybody's bodies mentally and physically can't even take that, but people will push the envelope with themselves, right?
Yep.
And put themselves in the vulnerable position where somebody has total and complete power over them. And that I cannot relinquish to now one human being on this earth, not even my husband. Nobody's going to have 100% total relinquish over my body, period, point blank. But some people put their trust in their mate or in other people in that way. When it comes to the vulnerability of me and my body, and I'm speaking personally of me, no way. Not when it comes to, if I can't see what you're doing to me, I'm not, my limbs are not free. Like it ain't happening. It ain't happening.
But people do, and that's all I'm sitting. That's all I'm sitting there saying. It's not about a right or wrong. It's just the fact that this is just some people's kinks. So
yeah, I mean, to each his own. I ain't knocking no aim.
And it works. It works well.
Whatever works for you.
It works very well.
Hold on, y'all. Let me read Marcus' comment. Marcus says, "How about people have accountability, or is it parents' fault for being stern disciplinarian parents who taught or didn't teach integrity?" Or is it the grown person, adult, that can't take accountability? I'm not sure where he's going with this.
Me neither.
I
think so the accountability is on both parts, Marcus. The accountability is on the person who put themselves in the position to have to say stop, and the accountability is on the person who won't stop. So if a motherfucker say stop, you choking me too much, stop.
But let's just be real. When women say no to men and they saying stop and no, they still get raped.
Right.
It doesn't stop it. So imagine putting yourself in that vulnerable ability and saying stop and no, and they continue to go that far. And that's why things go left. And a lot of times with these type of scenarios, right? It's the same type of scenario.
But that's the thing, Patrice. That's why I'm asking you as a female. What would you do as a female? Let's say you're dating somebody and they say, "Hey, I didn't tell you earlier, but I'm really into sex being, a little rough," and and then they start showing you things that they would like to do. And so, what would you say to try to say, "Hey, well, how would you mitigate that situation?" Even if you're going to say, "All right, well, I'll give it a try," but how would you mitigate that situation to say, "Okay, if it does start going left, I got a way out of it"?
and I can only speak for me personally. I'm the type of woman, I'm grown ass woman, right? I done experienced things in life, so I'm
The
having the
whole grown ass woman.
I'm the whole
Yeah,
grown
the
ass woman. So
whole grown ass
I'm
woman.
having the conversation prior to. If it comes down to an intimate conversation about sex, it's like, hey, what do you like? How do you like it?
Thank
Like,
you.
what are you
It ain't
into?
that
Like,
hard.
that's a
It ain't
conversation
that hard.
prior to. Now,
Thank
what I didn't always do that when I was younger, right? So if I was in a scenario when I was younger, and that was the scenario, and a guy come talking to me about he like it rough, he like this, he like that, he want to do this to me, want to do that to me, I already knew my moral compass, so I already knew what I would do and wouldn't do. So it would be if whether like we right there in the moment before it happens, like, nah, dude, I don't do that, I don't get down like that, it ain't happening. Period, point blank. It ain't happening. If it's an incident with another young lady, I'm not speaking about myself, and she say, "Well, I'll try it. I'll give it a try."
you.
Cool. If that's what she
Do
want to do,
it.
give it
Do
a try. But where it goes left a lot is because, see, the man know he's into that already. He knows how rough he like to get it. The
Yeah.
woman is very naive about the idea, but she's trying to please him and be down for the cause, and she end up getting her ass in trouble.
Yep.
She end up, and it goes left a lot of times, and then well, God damn it, that was rough. That was
Yeah.
don't do it like that no more. But she'll go back again. And I done told you now, I don't want it rough. I don't like it rough, thinking that his frame of mind is going to change. Hell no, because that's what he's been used to doing to
Yep.
women. It's not going to change. Women
Right.
need to stop thinking that they're going to change the scenario and the mindset of a man. It's not going to happen.
That's fact.
Right. Well, is there any way you guys
No, Clarence,
said
stop playing devil's advocate. Let's go to the
no,
next story. You forever with
no,
that devil's advocate
we
shit.
got to find it. We got to
There
try to
is
give
no
a
way.
solution to these guys.
Patrice is a fact. The bottom line, the women who get stuck in that space, unfortunately, trying to get out, is there, as she said, they know that that's not really what they want to do, but and I'll be honest with you, he's a baseball player. We already say he's a $28 million baseball player.
Exactly. And that's going to make a lot of women think, maybe it ain't that bad, because they want to get the man. They want the bag.
Right.
Maybe it ain't so bad. Maybe if I tell him, talk to him, he won't do it so rough next time. Please.
If I can be crude for a moment, you can shove it all the way down my throat. I ain't never done it before. He's $28 million man. You ain't never done it for the other guy, but fuck it, I'm going to try it. You can stick it in my ass. Ain't never done it before, but I'm going to try it. But be easy. No, because he wasn't easy with the other ones. That's what happens. Let's just stop with all the we ain't got to figure out nothing. It's plain as day. Patrice already told her. The handwriting's on the wall. Stop giving all this feeling, go around shit. This is why it happens and how it happens, Clarence. They see that $28 million man who about to hit that $60 million loss, like, shit.
Yeah.
I ain't never had it up the ass, but I'll try for this one.
Exactly.
Of course. I mean, 60 mil on the line, of course.
No. They looking at it because they know he's a Major League Baseball player making
That's
all
what I'm
that
saying,
money.
Rico.
So they're going to go ahead and try it. And all of a sudden, when he's too rough, there you go. That's why
it's women. It's women, and I'm not going to even just speak of friends I know in the industry. It's women that is doing that every day of their lives with their husbands, and know that they are into sexual interludes with things with their husbands that they don't even like, but they do it because that's their husbands, and they do it to please their husbands, but they don't particularly like it themselves. It's just real.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we all.
And that's all I'm speaking on.
We all got some things that we gotta fall on the sword for, Patrice. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Sometimes somebody
and listen, and Lucky is younger, so she can, if she welcome to come up here, bring it from a younger perspective. I was young once, but I know that I always had a moral compass, and I'm not saying nobody else don't. But I just knew each individual have to know what their moral compass is as to what line they will and won't cross when it comes to sex. Just like anything else.
We was supposed to have lines. We were supposed to
Well,
have lines.
I know I did. I know I
did
still
have
do.
one, no
I
boys.
always had one. So
I had one line, no boys. Everything else is open. When I was young.
I am not a person that likes to have activity around the back door. Leave the back door alone. That's
but that's what I'm saying. But look, Clarence. Okay, but she made 28 million. Okay, baby, I'll try.
Nah, man.
Patrice, you get Clarence for 28 million.
They might think twice about it, right?
I know what cup of noodles tastes like. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I know what cup of noodles with ramen tastes like. So I'm straight.
That's the part that you believe conversation is to 28 million. And these girls and guys.
You see how he trying to put on me, Patrice? He talking about himself. Rico with it. You say $28 million. Rico, are you sure?
Million. 2.8 million. Hey, boo.
Hey, hello. Exactly.
Yeah. I ain't never seen that. 28 million. I ain't never seen 2.8 million.
Shout out to Lucky Marie.
Listen, people have. I'm with Bro Rico. People have done it for way less. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. People have compromised their integrity and morals, and they moral compass for way less. Okay.
But here's the thing, y'all. I'm trying to put our heads together to get a safer way that these people can approach.
There is no safer way, bro. Clarence, stop that shit.
Unfortunately, bro, Clarence. Listen, this is the thing. Men heads are so goddamn hard. They see men still right to this day getting in trouble, even with the Me Too movement, the whole thing, and they still do this because they thinking it ain't gonna happen to me. I'm gonna be slicker than the serpent. I'm gonna be smarter than the serpent. It ain't gonna happen to me. Shoot, I got too much money. I got too much this. Hard head every time.
What's my words, Clarence? I'm smarter than everybody else.
You know what? We just did I don't know if you're familiar with this guy, Kayleen Walker.
We ain't talking about him no more, Clarence.
But I've been familiar with him for years because I know people in Atlanta that was tied to that. So yes, yep.
Yeah, so we are fully versed in people that just don't listen.
Hey, Sister Lucky, you coming up?
Yeah, Lucky, are you?
I want to hear from a younger person like Lucky's perspective, especially now because I'm so far removed, right, from this situation and this scene. It's a different time than when me and Rico came up, as opposed to where it is now, because everything is so more sexually exploited now, right? Especially with the younger generation now, they're way more free spirited than we were even back then. So
I'll be honest with you. I'm running around now where my damn granddaughter, who's like 11 and 12, and I'm literally, I'll be honest with you, sort of more concerned about, because like I said, she in the hood, this, that, whatever, and like you said, the promiscuity that exists in our community, even at her age. And like I said, I don't have a great relationship with her father, who's my son. He's the one fucking idiot out of the bunch. All the rest of my grandkids are in Fort Knox, but this one, he's got an older daughter and 2 sons. And I'm like, I just keep telling my wife, like, I'm scared as shit of her. Because I'm not scared of her, I'm scared of her outcome. Because
that's unfortunate too.
And
that
at 12, I'm like, at 12 years old, the neighborhood they live in, it's like I just bury my head in the sand and just pray. That's all I can do. And I ain't a praying motherfucking man, but I pray for her.
Right.
I really do for that.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man. All right, let me read what Marcus says. Marcus says, so that's why men are leaving the country to a different one, where the laws aren't terrible. Let the woman learn the languages, culture, etc.
No. So all I'm gonna say is no. Let's go to the next story. This is a good one, Patrice. I got some questions for you.
All right.
Hey, Lucky Marie, we ain't forgot you, and you tap in on this conversation.
Yeah, tapping in when you get a chance. All right, we're gonna read about the Brazilian soccer player welcomes baby with wife who is niece of his ex-wife. Holy smokes!
Did you get that, Patrice?
That sounds like black people right there.
Patrice, did you get that?
Wait, no, repeat. I went to grab me a water. What's the deal now?
Brazilian pro soccer player welcomes baby with wife who is the niece of his ex-wife. So he was married to one lady, and then
right, and now he married to her niece and then had a baby with the niece.
Correct. Yes, but guess what? He got 3 kids by the ex-wife.
Wow. Yeah, that's some that's some hood, that's some straight hood stuff.
so he had 3 kids by the ex-wife.
Giovannido de Souza, aka Hulk, shares 3 kids with his ex-wife Irene Angelo, who is the aunt of his current wife Camila. Holy smokes! That's him right here holding the baby.
He's a professional soccer player in Brazil.
I'm gonna call him G de Souza, the Brazilian pro soccer player known as Hulk, has welcomed a baby with his wife Camila, who is the niece of his ex-wife. The couple welcomed their first baby together, a daughter named Zaya, on Monday, April 18th. He announced on Instagram. De Souza is also dad to sons Ian, 13, and Tiago, 11, plus 8-year-old daughter Alice, with ex-wife Irene Angelo, who is Camila's aunt. Baby Zaya arrived at 2:22 p.m. in Miami, weighing 8 pounds, 9 ounces, holy smokes, and measuring 21 inches at birth. Under the blessing of God Almighty Father and Our Lady.
There they are. They had to put the Christian belief in there. Listen, they keeping it in the family. They keeping it in the family. That's all I'm saying.
Right? I just want to fuck. Go down. Don't worry about all that. That's just some bunch of bullshit.
Okay, where you want to
go down to the next paragraph.
Okay.
And go down to the next. Keep going. Scroll down.
Okay, I'm trying to scroll. Okay, it's caught up.
Okay, keep going. Right, that's her. So he got that young girl. Keep going down.
Okay.
That's the niece.
Not bad.
That's the niece of his ex-wife. Keep
not
going
bad.
down.
Okay.
And so go down. So keep going down. Oh no, go up. Look at what he says. I am a man. Scroll down right there.
Okay.
I am a man.
I am a man. I was not happy in my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smoke. I had countless reasons. I don't think I'm an ugly person. And I'm young. Camila is young and extremely beautiful. We ended up getting involved. We were single, he reportedly said.
Go down. Go down, right?
So
now his 3 kids from his ex-wife. Keep going. And then, go up. Right here. Okay, so start with here. After going public.
After going public about their relationship, Camila reportedly penned a message to her aunt in a since deleted social media post, according to The Sun. I really want you to know things that maybe everyone will talk about differently, mere speculation, but I don't really judge them because outsiders know absolutely nothing and most of the time just want the situation to be worse, she said per the outlet. It's been very hard to face all of this, but I wouldn't do it if it wasn't true. I never imagined it could happen, but we don't rule our heart. No one is immune to or exempt from it. Live the greatest of feelings. I'm sorry for everything. If I could choose, we wouldn't be going through this, but life doesn't spin the way we imagine it to, she added at the time. All right, guys. Who else has done something similar to this? Maybe not exactly like this, but similar.
Who else done something similar like this, OG Patrice?
A lot of people.
Name one. Name one for the community.
I'm trying to think of let me see. Well, now I'm in entertainment. It happens a lot, right? So Woody Allen.
I forgot.
Listen, as much as we love, what's his name? Morgan Freeman.
But
let's see.
With it though, right?
Wait.
No.
Yeah, he
No,
messing with his
he messing with
granddaughter.
his grand his is it grand or great grand? It's
step
grand
granddaughter.
step granddaughter, something like that. Yeah.
Mhm. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead. Who else?
Let's see. I'm trying to think right offhand. Celebrities
Back in
like
the day. Back in the day.
uh
1, 2,
oh,
3.
Jerry Lee Lewis married
No,
his
no.
first cousin.
Okay, but no. A B C. Easy. It's
Oh
my
yeah. Them two. Yep, the
Who
Jacksons,
was it? Jermaine with
The
who?
Jacksons.
Who was it? Jermaine.
It
Which two
was
brothers?
Jermaine, and
Was it Tito or Randy that had babies by the same mother,
Randy. Jermaine and Randy.
which was Barry
Mm-hmm.
Gordy's daughter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you got
Yeah.
their cousins and siblings.
Holy.
Yes, because they're cousins and siblings. They got different
Yeah.
fathers, same mother, and the fathers are brothers.
Wow.
Barry
Wow.
Gordy's daughter
I was
had children by 2 of the Jackson brothers.
right.
Then this guy had children by his ex-wife's
No, wait. No, it's Jermaine and Randy were married too and had children by the same woman. It wasn't a Gordy's girl.
It wasn't Gordy's daughter?
No. It was they
girl.
both married the same girl. It was another girl.
They both
Yeah.
married the same girl.
And had kids with by the same girl. Yeah.
So my thing is, how the fuck does the second brother marry the same woman and have kids after you already had kids by her?
He already had his eye on her, Rico. He already had his eye on her.
No, you throw that nigga in the trash. That nigga goes in the trash. If it's one of mine,
he had his eye on her.
we drowning this motherfucker. We done. We done.
He already had his eye on her.
You cannot come behind your sibling and fuck his ex-wife after you can't do it if he didn't have kids with her.
You're not
if he
supposed
got
to.
kids with her, dude, you deleted in my book. I don't accept that.
I was thinking of what's
that's
the
a
dude's
bridge
name?
too far. That's not forgivable.
Derek, the one that went with Matt Barnes' ex-wife.
Derek Fisher.
Derek Fisher.
That was friendship, though.
But we talking about like relative.
Talking about blood relation.
Derek Fisher almost, got deleted on that situation.
But we're talking about in this story, this is blood relation. So literally, it's like, so how do you introduce your kids? They're siblings and cousins?
Something like that, right?
Yeah, they are, because you're the niece. So if the niece had kids by somebody else, her husband kids would be the first cousin, second cousin of her kids. But now they're the sibling of her kid. So your sibling and your cousins. Because my ass was so hot that I had to go fuck my aunt's ex-husband.
But wait a minute, Rico.
This is
what royalty used to do.
We know how sick and twisted those motherfuckers are. That's why we stopped it. We stopped it for that very reason, Clarence. Because we saw how many inbred motherfuckers they was having and how fucked up these kids were. That's why we stopped it.
Right, but I'm just saying they used to do it.
So they're saying we're gonna go back having more fucked up kids. So heaven forbid if
unfortunately it's still happening in our community too. Yes. It was a man in prison, and he ended up seducing his own daughter and getting her pregnant. It was all over social media. It was in Florida. He got out of prison.
A little 14, 15-year-old daughter.
He got his own daughter. Yeah, I mean, sick, and because her mother was all over social media. This was all over social media. So it's happening in our communities as well.
That's the same as like the case with that 60-something-year-old pastor that married that 18-year-old girl. I'm telling you, these niggas just got to go in the trash, man. We got to stop this. Well, how do we stop? No, we don't stop. We just throw motherfuckers in the trash completely. I'm sorry.
Well,
They
Rico,
just throw in the
you're gonna
trash.
throw the man in the trash because he mad
Yes,
at
yes,
a
yes,
grown
yes. In the
adult.
motherfucking trash. In the trash.
He mad at an adult, Rico.
If
He mad at an
your
adult.
sexual, okay, that's fine. But if your sexual deviancy, well, the pastor thing, I'm not gonna go that far with. I mean, I think he's still fucked up. But I'm talking about, like, in this case, it's like, dude, come on. All the pussy in the world you could get, you can't fuck nobody but your ex-wife niece.
Yeah, that's a bad move. That's a bad look.
That's
That's
a
definitely a
horribleness.
bad look.
If you look at the situation with the Jackson, that's why people like, it's so funny. Woody Allen married his
There's
fucking
another one.
adopted
There's
daughter.
another one. That's another one.
That's some
And that was
incestuous
people-
shit.
That was real bad. That was real
That's
bad.
some incestuous shit.
But Rico, that wasn't
Nah.
incestuous. It
It
wasn't
is incestuous. That was his adopted daughter.
That's what I'm saying. It wasn't by blood. That's what we make it
I don't give a fuck. It's still his daughter. Don't claim the title.
I agree. I agree.
You
I agree. It's bad.
adopted
I
her.
agree. It's
You're
bad.
her father.
Yeah, I agree. It's
That's
bad.
some incestuous shit. This nigga did. That's some
It's
incestuous shit. You fucking your niece.
Yeah. That's bad.
Jerry Lee Lewis married his first cousin.
Yes.
Jerry Lee Lewis married his first cousin.
That's
Y'all
some
remember that?
incestuous
Yeah.
shit. The shit with
Because
the
they say they don't care.
You fucking your ex, you fucking your brother's ex-wife and impregnating her is some incestuous shit.
Yeah. But sometimes some
I
people are
don't
twisted.
care.
They twisted. You know what I mean? So
They twisted because they fucked up in the head. Throw them in the trash. Drown these motherfuckers. The whole we're gonna make exceptions and we're gonna understand. And I'm not even a biblical person. You know, it supposedly started with the position, I think biblically, and I hope I ain't stepping on nobody's toes. So if anybody in earshot, if you got family members, I'm just saying that the way that I think modern society and the majority of society looks at things is that these are certain things that are just a bridge too far. And I'm not passing judgment, but I'm just sitting there saying, like, this guy, I'm like, come on, dude, you a professional athlete in Brazil. All the beautiful women in it. Come on, you young. You want to get in the way. Dudes, knock it off.
wait a minute.
Like, this bitch is the owner. Even if you were in Miami, you had 1,000 motherfuckers.
Well, Rico, it talks about it. It talks about it in the Bible, and I forget. It's been a while, but you know, it's a part in the Bible in the Old Testament where one of the sons of Noah uncovered his mother's nakedness. That means he slept with his father's wife.
Right.
So that's in the Bible, and you know, I don't know if any people that are Christians are in the chat that may know, but they know what I'm talking about. And I remember reading that a while. It's been a long time, and I'm kind of rusty, but I know for a fact. And when they say you uncovered another person's nakedness, means you slept with another person, and that's biblical in the Bible. Where one of Noah's sons, it says, I can't remember which one it was, uncovered his father's nakedness. So,
but I'm literally asking the question, right? Okay, so I'm not a bad looking one, or whatever. Let's pretend he found her in Miami. I'm like, let me tell you this. Without even going to Miami, I know that is nowhere near the baddest bitch in Miami at all.
No.
For sure not. For sure not.
So when I'm
it's so many beautiful women in Miami. Yeah, I agree.
So what I'm trying to ask myself is, you are a professional soccer player in Miami. You're Brazilian, okay? There has got to be no shortage of women that's 100 times better looking than her that are beating down your fucking door every night. You know that is the niece of your ex-wife. So you know you're fucking your children's cousin. She is the cousin of your children.
Absolutely.
Why are you fucking your children's cousin?
Yes, absolutely.
That says something about you.
What is now they just had a baby, right? They had the baby. I think it was a girl, right? So now is the girl and her going to be cousins as well as mother and daughter?
Yes.
Holy smoke!
I mean, the whole dynamic of everything is all fucked up because that's not what's supposed to happen. That's not.
Look at the man that got his daughter pregnant. He is the father and the grandfather.
Yeah.
The mother that's her sibling and her child.
Yeah.
That's her sister and her daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. See the fucked up dynamics that they create.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I would accept. I'm not going to accept it, but I'm like, maybe it would make some sense if you was a toothless hillbilly in Appalachia. I'm like, motherfucker, you a professional soccer player in fucking Miami. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, she must be an upgrade, Rico.
Dude, but what I'm sitting there saying is, he bumped into upgrades every day. Pick one that you're not fucking related to.
I know, but Rico, he might have said to himself, "These women just want to play games with me. This girl knows me.
You see, there you go with that crazy.
You know, bro, Clarence gotta always go down.
Down to the fact of this is what I would tell this motherfucker. You know, I would literally tell this stupid motherfucker, "Fuck you. Think about your children."
He's not related to her blood. His children are.
But
his children are.
His children are.
Exactly.
So he created this entire fucked up dynamic, thinking with his dick. When I'm like, okay, think with your dick. There's a million other motherfuckers out there that look better than her. Go fuck them and have kids with them.
Agree.
I'm
just trying to figure out why he didn't do that. I'm just trying to figure out why he didn't do that, Rico, because you're right.
Because he's fucking stupid.
Okay.
And it ain't her.
Because they're gonna didn't y'all hear what Bro Clarence, he read it. He said, "We can't help what the heart knows, what the heart knows, and we can't help that we fell in love and we're sorry. We didn't mean to hurt anybody, but we just can't think of nobody but our own selfish reasons for doing what we did."
That's why I wanted him to read that part, because I wanted him to hear the shit. I wanted him to hear the excuses they would put forward, because what they're trying to do is, this is a story for their family relations. So
the heart can't help who it falls in love with.
They're trying to defend this shit because everybody's like, you fucked your aunt's ex-husband and he got 3. In Brazil, they talking about like, you's a dirty bitch. So they're trying to like, they probably can't even go back to Brazil with this shit. They got to stay in the USA, and even here, people are talking about it. So they're putting out.
It depends. It depends on their family dynamic. Because her auntie might be cool with it now. She might be like, it is what it is.
Is that not the narrative when the Jacksons both had kids by the same chick? The chick, I think she came out and said the same shit. You can't control the heart and all that bullshit.
And
I think they went through the same dynamic.
That's what Derek Fisher said. Derek Fisher said, "You know what? You love who you love."
And he almost got deleted.
Yeah, he almost did.
And he almost got deleted. Because that's a bridge too fucking far.
Yeah.
You gotta miss me.
You know how Matt Barnes found out that Derek Fisher was in the plot in the picture?
What?
I think they got locked out of the house, and Derek Fisher was trying to get him into the house. And they called the father and told the father that Derek Fisher was trying to get him in the house.
And let me tell you the truth. Matt Barnes didn't give a fuck about the mother, but he did not care for the disrespect.
And a new dude around his children. That's what really.
No. Even I think he could have accepted if it was a new dude, a nigga that you played with me and coached me.
Yeah, exactly. He was.
No, that's a bridge too far.
Yeah, you're right. It was probably a little more.
It could have been Pookie from down the street. I don't think he would have drove like that. When he found out who it was, I got to delete this motherfucker.
And he knew you had been around him and hadn't said anything to him.
It's a bridge too far, Clarence.
It does make a difference with who it is.
It makes
All right, y'all, let me read some of these comments. Rita Neal says, first cousins. We got the same damn blood. Ish. I don't want you, fam. That's nasty. Share grandparents. I can't sleep with my family. All right, Risa, you one for Rico. One for Rico and Patrice. All right. Risa Neal said again, I was raised in a family like that. My great grandfather was my grandfather, dad, and grandfather, and people still to this do this ish today. Yikes.
I'm just telling you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens a lot. Even in our community, it stems from way back, and it's still happening right today.
Yeah, man. Ouch. That is crazy. That is
and
crazy.
It's problematic, and that's why I wanted to bring that conversation into. I wanted to bring this story into the conversation. I'm like,
why is it problematic, Rico? Why is it problematic? Why?
It's problematic for health reasons. That's the remember the number one reason why America started outlawing intermarriages,
ancestral,
because of the health reasons.
Because the children come out, with so many birth defects and things of that nature.
Number one thing they come out with is what's called Down syndrome.
Birth defects.
They called it something else back then.
It's a lot of other birth defects. It's a lot of other birth defects.
This is where a lot of them stem from. It's called Down syndrome. What happens is
the Down syndrome were the good ones. They were the ones that came out okay. The ones that were more fucked up, they were missing limbs.
It stems from the Down syndrome. The Down syndrome is you're supposed to get 46 chromosomes.
But what I'm saying is,
23 from the father.
So if the relation is too close, it's even worse.
But what I'm saying is when you have people that are too closely related, you're not getting enough different chromosomes, right? You have some chromosomes that are repeated, and then you are missing some chromosomes because it's the same chromosome. So you don't end up getting all of the chromosomes. So you call it Down syndrome. And then a multitude of different stuff can happen based on that situation developing.
And that's where the term inbreeding comes from. And the crazy part about it
I watched this documentary, guys. This producer of a documentary went way down. Yes, way down in the boondocks. There's this white family. Almost every last one of them is heavily birth defects and major retardation from inbreeding.
And then the thing is, and I hate to say it, like I'm gonna try to say it.
And I'm saying it in the most respectful way, but it was the most awful thing I ever seen in my life. It's on YouTube.
It is on YouTube. But even among that is that's also inbreeding. And this is the thing is the government realized inbreeding was a problem. And where they realized it was a problem from animals. See what I'm saying? So when people were breeding animals like dogs and pigs and cows, when you had siblings copulating with siblings, so a dog, so if you have a mother dog and a father dog and they get together and they have sons and daughters, and now what most breeders would do, they would breed the daughter with the son. Now they got kids, so now you done already crossed. So you done took parents, you done bred siblings. Now you're breeding grand siblings. And each lineage, because they were just thinking they're just going to continue to reproduce, but you're keeping that same.
Well, just imagine, that was done to us during slavery. That's where the word mofo come from.
What word?
Mofo. I'm saying mofo, but you know what I mean. That's where that word comes from.
Okay,
they were forcing us to inbreed. They were making the sons sleep with the mothers back then to have children and sisters and brothers. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I believe that because we were no more in chattel slavery.
Look it up. Those are facts.
Oh, I believe that's just you ain't got to tell me to look it up. I believe.
But the thing about it though is that even when we were brought over to the Americas, unfortunately, generationally, we kept it up, and that was bad. That's why it's a lot of ancestral relationships and inbreeding in the Black community has been so perpetuated. So, and you see so much of, like you said, the Down syndrome children, the mild retardation, the heavy retardation, missing limbs, things of that nature that you're talking about. These things happen for real. And when we came to the Americas, it stayed a lot. It happened a lot in the South, especially. It happened a lot, and then it just continued to be perpetuated throughout our culture and our families, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. But the good thing, at least in this situation, is he wasn't related to her by blood. So,
but his children are. Stop making excuses, Clarence. We ain't talking about his dad. They're adults. They're already adults. They are already adults.
Better for him to go ahead and be with somebody else. It would have been better.
Clarence, his daughter runs the risk of being born by his niece, who is the niece of his ex-wife. There is an inherent risk. It's not as great, but there's an inherent fucking risk. So, I mean, to sit there and say that, then all of a sudden you're going to have every motherfucker out here trying to fuck their ex-wife's niece or nephew or whatever the case may be.
No, I'm not really.
Or at least believe it. Well, Clarence said it's okay, so it's okay. I'm like, no.
They don't listen to me no way. They don't listen to me no way. I could go out and say, hey, everybody trying to get their niece right now.
Medically, it could be. And I'm just sitting there saying is, even if not medically, morally, it's horrible because now your children have to grow up and say, my little sister is my cousin. And then people like,
explain that one.
What? She your sister or your cousin? What is it? Usually it's one or the other. It's no same thing. How the fuck is your sister is your cousin?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you about my dirty dick daddy. And it's like, come on now, that's just not cool. It's not cool. I don't give a fuck. I'm just using them as an example. And like I said, we talked about the Jacksons as an example. Woody Allen, dirty dick ass, no excuse for fuck. And when are they gonna get on the age disparity? We talking like what is it? Him and Sue Jean Priven, like a 40-year difference.
Yeah.
You want to say that ain't blood? No, but it's 40 fucking years difference. He could have went and found another 40-year-old younger fucking Korean chick that he didn't adopt. Why these motherfuckers act like the one they got is the only one? That's some incestuous shit. And the problem I'm having is none of these motherfuckers didn't come from means. So when it comes from, it's Pookie or Ray Ray around the street, okay, he ain't got money. This motherfucker we looking at on the screen probably got millions of dollars. Woody Allen had millions of dollars. The Jacksons got millions of dollars. Jerry Lewis, all these people are of means. They all had money. They could have afforded.
I'm looking up his salary right now, Rico.
They could have afforded to go out and buy
16.8 mil per year. Holy smoke.
They could have afforded to go out and bought what they want without doing this incestuous.
Oh man, 16 mil a year in Miami. Yeah, you living like a king out there, man. Holy smokes. Hey man, but hey, you know what? He wanted this. This is what he want. I don't think
he could have went to Brazil. He could have went to Brazil. It's 5,000 bitches that look better than her. And he could have had them all for half the price. I promise you.
I agree.
No, you ain't gotta agree. I know that for a fact.
Yeah. No, I agree. He could have did much better. He could have did much better.
In Brazil, where he's from.
But I think he made that decision based on, her being around her and her knowing his intimate things already. I think he felt like, it was just gonna cut down a lot of time. And like we said, I'm not related to her, so therefore it's all good. That's what I'm sure he was thinking.
But so basically, what he said in that moment, my dick hard, fuck my kids,
Right.
fuck my children.
Just like we do in the hood. Just like we do in the hood, man.
Okay, there you go. All right, so we can start calling him the new Pookie. My
All right,
dick hard,
y'all.
fuck my kids.
Okay, y'all. All right. Now I want to talk to y'all about a couple of different things. Now I don't want to use
I got about
names.
10 minutes, sir, but go ahead.
Okay, 10 minutes. Okay, 10
Well,
minutes.
but I'm gonna tap back in later when I
Yeah. No, that's no problem because we're gonna get out of here anyway. Cause
you and Patrice keep it going. Patrice, you part of the team now.
yeah, you probably.
You let your ass go.
Yeah, y'all made me part of the team. All right.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't letting you go.
Oh yeah. All right. So I want to talk to y'all about something that we really need to talk about. Okay. I know me and Rico, we had decided we said we're gonna discuss this later, so we might go into it and dip a little further later on down the line. But what I want to talk about is how we can start handling things better as a YouTube community, as the black side of YouTube, how to handle things better. I think
I'm gonna fire your ass.
Huh?
I'm gonna fire your ass.
I
told we talk about it later.
We're gonna talk about it later, but we're just gonna dip our toe in it right now, Rico. We just dip our toe in it.
Go get the dipping.
So,
dipping.
Huh? Get the dipping. Yeah. So, do y'all? Well, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think, for the most part, when we are we handling things the best way we can as a YouTube community? Meaning that, like, when something is said, are we responding or reacting? I mean, what do y'all
Who's
think?
we? First of all, define who's we.
I'm talking about us as a community, as a group. Not
No. We're not a community. Are you talking about the three of us?
No, I'm talking about Black YouTube.
No,
like
Black YouTube is shit. Black YouTube is shit. I'm being honest.
Explain that, Rico. Explain that. What is that?
If you're talking about the three, because Black YouTube is self-centered.
I know how the three of us handle stuff. I'm talking about
Black YouTube is self-centered, selfish. They are everybody's for themselves. I don't buy into the whole unity bullshit either, because I'm like, to be unified, we need to have a unified purpose and a unified direction. We haven't even defined what a purpose or direction is. So I don't even think Black YouTube knows what the fuck it wants. Black YouTube is too busy trying to mimic the behavior of others. Black YouTube is just shit. It's shit. It's not as
so. It's like pretty much Wild Wild West. It's just like
it is. It literally is. It's confused. It's lost. It's unfocused. It's undirected. I don't necessarily believe, no one's going to let anybody come forward and say, okay, this is what it needs to be. There are certain content creators who come into the space and they sell themselves as a savior or a leader, and they are for self. And we can quickly figure out that that's what they are. Black YouTube is shit. Black YouTube, I think we're late to the game. I think white YouTube has been out here, and Black YouTube act like, I'm like, no, white YouTube has been way ahead of us, and that's fine. We can accept that. And then when we came into the marketplace, I think the first people into the market space was trying to not necessarily follow, but trying to figure out, okay, how does this YouTube space works? And it's sort of like what we do with everything. We open the door to let all of us in, and niggas bum rush spaces. And when they bum rush the space, I get torn between, like, do you let them in slowly? Do you let them in wildly? Because, and I love the fact that when we open up the space to Black people, we get a lot of creativity, we get a lot of energy, we get a lot of this, but we have no control. That's the problem. So I love Black creativity. It's just like just fucking paint. You know, that's how we paint. Fuck this shit. We don't do the. We don't do that. We do like, yeah, you know, and that's us. That's a beautiful thing. But part of the problem is there's no control, there's no regulation, and then we start to bring in. Well, we want all these bright and bold and beautiful colors and all these streaks and all of this excitement. There's a certain level of shit that you don't want that comes in with it. White YouTube is just more organized. They're just more structured. It's not better. It's bland as shit. It's bland as a motherfucker. There ain't no excitement. There's no popping. There's no nothing. But them niggas got rules. They do. They do rules well. They just do rules. We don't do rules. And that is part of the problem. But so I think for Black YouTube, each individual space has to start with trying to say, put rules in your space. And if enough spaces pop up with rules, then as a collective, we can create rules. Right now, the space opened up as the Wild Wild West, like you described.
Yeah.
Patrice?
What do you think, Patrice?
I'm going to say I am not a content creator, right? So I'm going to speak from the perspective of a person that support content creators and subscribe to content creators, right?
Right.
It's definitely room for a lot of improvement when it comes to the Black community that are content creators on YouTube. I see a lot of what I see that happens in real life when it comes to clicks, when it comes to putting people on pedestals, when it comes to subscribing to toxicity, drama. I see a lot of that on here, and I know it's happening in real life. That's just how we've been as a culture, and it's very, very unfortunate, and it's very, very toxic and dangerous, actually, because we are behind the 8 ball on everything. And Black people play too much when it comes to things that they need to be more serious about. I think that if you are an individual content creator and you want to provide a safe, healthy, drama-free, non-toxicity space for yourself and your channel, I think that you just pretty much need to do you and stick with the people and network with the people that's doing the same. I think that you shouldn't subscribe to things that is not morally on your compass. If you have a line to draw with integrity and pride and morals and values, I think you need to stay on that side of it, because it becomes dangerous when you trickle over into other waters of that with people that are the opposite of what you stand for. But I see a lot of fakeness. I see a lot of phoniness. And this is just us in the community in real life. Black people have always been this way. It stems from, I see it in the entertainment on down to these YouTube streets. And in real life, this as a culture of people, Black people has always been that way. It's a lot of charlatans. It's a lot of poverty pimping. It's a lot of liars, pathological liars. It's a lot of scammers. It's a lot of backstabbers. It's a lot of shit starters.
Yeah.
It's a lot of gossipers. A lot of the toxicity that we have and do in our real lives is being done on YouTube as a culture. We don't have a code that we adhere to.
Yeah.
I see a lot of things that is very, very unfortunate that where it's traumatizing. We need a lot of therapy.
Yeah.
We need a lot of healing of going through the last 2 years, if anything, that shouldn't have taught us, as we've seen loved ones come and go and die from that virus and everything, it still hasn't. I don't know what is it going to take for Black people to learn and get it. I really don't. I don't know. Listen. I understand that if you're on here for your business, create it as a business, then act as a business person. Should. But
Right.
but what you do and the soul that you sell for clicks and views and monetary gain is ill-gotten gains off of the back and the blood of your own people. And it's no better than what was done to us many years ago. Our own people are doing that to people that look like them. And that's the sickest, most toxic shit I've ever seen in my life. But this is what's happening in these YouTube streets. So you have to be very, very careful of who you subscribe to, who you network and do business with, the platforms you be on, the people, the different things, right? Especially to the detriment of our overall community on YouTube and just in general, because I can't help but think that the personalities that I see on these YouTube streets are the same personalities in real life. It's hard for people to hide that for too long, right?
Right.
Some people are just straight up bad for business. And if whatever your plans are as a content creator for you on YouTube, if you want to be shit starter, toxic drama, then you stay over there and you do you. If you want to contribute to society and community on your YouTube page as a business or just for pleasure and entertainment, then do that. But I just see that nothing's good gonna come from the YouTube streets community if this keeps up, because people are losing their channels, they're being doxxed, all type of bullshit
Right.
that we do to each other is so toxic.
Yeah.
It's so toxic on here. And that's going to lead to nothing but destruction of the Black community when it comes to YouTube. And that's just my personal opinion. And I'm not a content creator. I'm a supporter of and a subscriber of people's content, but I have subjected myself to start falling back from a lot. I've unsubscribed from a lot of people. I just don't care to. And you know, if you are who you are straight up, and I see who you are, then that leaves me a choice to decide, right? So, but if I know that you are the sneakiest type of person where you do underhanded, undermined, backdoor shit, you the worst, because I can respect a person that do things straight up out front and give me the chance to say I'll fuck with this or I won't. But when you do the backdoor, undermined bullshit, you the worst snake in the world to me. And I see a lot of that as well. And seeing it's a lot of things that I think that is smart for people that don't get on platforms and they just stay in the chat to stay safe in that way. Because if you engulf and involve yourself in something, it doesn't matter, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. There's no good deed that ever goes unpunished. And I learned that the hard way. Right. And I just know that Black people are full of shit a lot of times, and they do not take things serious when they should, and they play too fucking much. And this is why we are fucking losing. We are losing as a community, and we are losing as a race of people, but we too goddamn blind and full of ourselves to see that shit. Because we so selfish and self-centered and self-absorbed, we don't see nothing but what the fuck a dollar can make for us. And that is problematic for me as a human being, as a person that have got out here and fucking marched and fucking protested and fucking did everything in a fucking community. And then I get on and I see the embarrassment to our own detriment, the shit that we do to each other for a dime,
Patrice,
or for whatever. And that shit right there is going to be our fucking downfall.
You're right. You're right. No, Patrice, Rico's got to go, so I'm going to let him get some closing remarks in here first before we all wrap this thing up. All right, Rico, what's your closing remarks, sir?
Just want to say thank you for inviting me to the stream. Great as always. Happy to see you, OG Patrice. Like always, thank you for coming out here, keeping Clarence straight, keeping his ass out of trouble.
We got to stay on them, right?
I know all the time. He always doing that old devil's advocate shit. But it was some great topics that we touched on.
It was.
That situation about the guy who blew $60 million, not knowing when to say stop. That's, I can't talk about that enough. And the guy, the Brazilian soccer player, and how he got real messy with his family, having intimate relationships, marrying and having kids with his ex-wife niece after having 3 kids. So, and these was just 2 broad topics that we talked on, and we got really in depth. So I hope people have took something out of it. But I'm about to go out here and enjoy my Saturday night and get jiggy with it.
Enjoy the rest of your evening, sir.
Yeah,
AKA get shit faced.
We'll do the Rico dance. Rico dance.
I'll send you guys some pictures. I just wanted to say bye. Thank you for the stream. Thank you as always. Bro, I'll see you on the flip side. And I'll
salute.
On the stuff we're doing, Sister Patrice.
Oh, yes, Rico, yes. Me, you, and I want to have a conversation with me, you, and Clarence further on something else too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to keep it. I know Rico got to go, so.
Yeah, I got to go tonight, but I'll tap in with you guys tomorrow or later, okay?
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
Enjoy your Saturday and have a blessed weekend, everybody.
Same to you.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Rico. Have a good time, man. All right, Brother Marcus, I'm bringing you into the fold, brother. What's happening?
Yeah, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for coming in back late. I was just a little busy. Let me get a quick second real quick.
Hold on, Marcus. Shout out to Lucky Marie. Shout out to Brother Sim. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Good to have you in the building. All right, Marcus, go ahead.
Give me a quick second, please.
Okay. All right. So what we were talking about the YouTube streets, particularly as it pertains to us in the African American community, side of the YouTube streets, and we was trying to talk about things that we are doing that's causing us to not use this platform in a way where we're making progress as far as issues that we might can make some progress in, but because of the infighting, it's difficult to make the progress. And Patrice, you were saying some of the things that are being a problem with the backbiting and stuff like that. My question is, how do we get around that? How do we, you kind of had an answer, Patrice, because you said we need to develop some codes, or we don't have any codes of conduct that we all will try our best to live by or operate our channels by.
But bro, Clarence, that's got to be only for the ones that want to do that, and you can't hold anybody else accountable. It's been proven. This is what's been happening lately is a prime example of when you do try to hold somebody else accountable, don't no fucking body want to be held accountable. The rules don't apply to them, but they want to apply to everybody else. So you have to work on an individual basis when it comes to YouTube, because motherfuckers just ain't gonna fall in line and get on the code just because they supposed to be on it. Because some people think they above the motherfucking code, and some people don't give a shit about the code. And some people that say they want a code but ain't gonna fucking abide by a code. So you just got to do it on an individual basis.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
All right, Marcus, go ahead. Let us have it, man. What's going on?
No, man. I mean, I like what OG Patrice was saying earlier about like the whole YouTube streets and the whole issues and the beefs. And I was catching up last night on certain streams that was happening last night and this morning. And I'm not gonna mention any names, right, to not give it more light, more fuel.
Right.
But it was just unfortunate, because people that are supposed to be apparently sticking up for each other on the same side, at least, and yet they're even getting into the squabble and the issues and beefs, and people's names are being thrown out there. And then I thought we already got past this already with one hurdle. Now we got to go through another hurdle, And Brother Clarence, you were going through your stuff. OG Patrice, I don't know if you were brought into the middle of certain things. I know my name was dragged at some point for certain things that were said, or things that were misread, or things that were alleged. And so it just
Yeah,
sucks, man.
absolutely.
It
Yeah,
sucks.
yours, mine, bro plans, bro Ricos, JP's. It was a bunch of us, and when people don't know what the fuck you doing in the background that you're really trying to do good, and then your shit get dragged. So, like I said, it's no good deed that goes unpunished, and that's the unfortunate part, and that's where I decided to step back because I see that a lot of these black content creators on here play too motherfucking much, and I know that I work too goddamn hard in my community, so I can't get my feelings all fucking involved in shit with people I don't know, on that level like that because it's serious for me. I care about my people and I care about my community, but a lot of motherfuckers don't. They say they do, but they fucking don't. And the proof is in the pudding.
Right, right, right. So that's why I want to. I mean, I wish there was something we could do, but you're right. It pretty much is like it's gonna have to be each content creator gonna have to decide. Hey, well, I do think that we should at least maybe there's a way we could we could develop a code and then the content creator could decide whether they're gonna follow it or not. I would think most of them probably won't, but if the ones of us that do follow a code of conduct to where we respect each other and stuff like that, at least a general code will be out there. You know what I mean? And then once the people that's not using the code see the people that's operating with the code staying out of the loop and making more money and being more successful, getting their point across or whatever, maybe they'll come to the code. Maybe they'll say, let me try that or whatever, right? I mean, if TLA can get all these people to pay him for these, pay him $550 for a course that basically, I mean, you know what I'm saying, you can kind of figure out on your own. I mean, there should be at least some people that will be interested in something like that. At least my opinion. What you got to say, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much touched up on everything. It just sucks, right? Because people that we know that are capable and have the what's the word that a lot of the OGs say, the potential and the intelligence to have that growth, to have that spurt, to because I've been on certain channels where for one moment it's about exposing this or putting this certain person on blast for this, but then the next one they provide like educational stuff, right? They provide stuff that actually helps the community, right? So it sucks now in the middle. Now we have this third problem. So, it doesn't help. And like OG was saying too, it's like channels get deleted, mouths are getting fed, people aren't eating no more. And like, what happened to you? Like you got a copyright strike because all you did was give an opinion, fair critique, and not even disparage the name or nothing.
Yes. And
it's
unfortunate.
I'm
gonna have an update on that real soon. So yeah, man. Yeah. But see, that's the thing. We got to have we don't really look at each other as because in that instance, what happened with me? Well, I just say, let me just take that experience. Like, but it did teach me that I try to reach out now, even if I think, hey, it's a fair use. I'll at least try to reach out, and they may not respond. Most of the time, they don't respond, but at least I reached out to them, and they could see that I at least tried to reach out to them to use their content.
Well, yeah, because you're being a mature, respectful, courteous adult. At least they could do is be like, hey, acknowledge it.
Yeah. At first, I thought, hey, everybody can use everybody's content, but I don't think that way anymore. Now I say, okay, I try to read. That would probably be even more respectful. I'll just go ahead and use their content anyway, even though I know with fair use, I probably couldn't use it, but I still try to reach out to them anyway. Now, as far as with them, I feel like they could have contacted me. I feel like they could have even went through Patrice, because Patrice knows most of them, or most of the people on that side of the aisle. They could have went through her. Even if they didn't know me, they could have went through Patrice and said, Patrice, what do you think about this dude? Should we contact him? And I believe Patrice would say he's a reasonable dude. Talk to him, right? So, but they didn't even do that because they didn't want to do it. They just said, hey, we're gonna show him that we are. But me and Stu, our rumblings go way back. So I know this other lady, security boss. I had no idea who she was. I just saw her giving out some bad advice.
I'm not that close with SB, but I'm more closer with Black Men Unfiltered. I talk somewhat to Sir Hale, but not on
and
that close level. I don't talk on that level that I do with you, you know?
Yeah, but it's no big deal. I mean, you know, I don't trip on the fact that, you know, Marcus, we don't trip, man. You go where you want to go.
Yeah,
You go
exactly.
to Cali,
Yeah.
if you want. Yeah,
You guys always said that. You guys never said pick sides. Nowhere.
Yeah, man, no, man, because you know we don't think, oh well, nah. Go where you want to go. Go what you do, what you got to do. Okay. So anyway, so what I'm gonna do is, we're gonna give our closing remarks. I'm gonna wrap this up. Patrice, I need to talk to you if you got a minute.
Yep, I got a minute. I'm good.
Okay. All right. So, Marcus, you're always a man with with the plan. Any closing remarks, man, on any of the things we talked about, or any solution you could throw out here into the wind here?
I honestly, the only reason why I was giving some pushback is because I never want to be that guy that seems like, oh, Marcus never gives Brother Clarence and Brother Rico a pushback ever, you know? So I wanted to play some devil's advocate, you know what I'm saying? Because people be thinking, oh, like you're always taking their side. How come you're always doing it? And I was like, no, man, I'm just giving the honest, fair opinion that I want to give, you know?
See, the thing about that is, and I want to speak on that, people don't know what somebody may be doing behind the scenes. And that's the thing. That's just like some pushback that I gave Bro Clarence behind the scenes. People don't know a lot because they think everything's supposed to be out front on the platform. Just like people didn't realize a lot of things, like, because I don't go around telling people I'm talking to certain people behind the scenes about things, because if to me, if I'm talking to you behind the scenes and I'm checking you on some stuff, or I'm trying to, talk to you about what's right, what's wrong, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, then I'm doing it behind the scenes. I'm not gonna fucking do what you want me to do up front in front of everybody, because that's what you want me to do. I know what the fuck I'm doing behind the scenes. See, that's the part that people don't realize. There was so much work being put in behind the scenes on a certain thing that people don't know about. So it made it look like we wasn't doing anything. But see, I'm not going to address that anymore. But it's another issue up now that I want to address, because I'm done with that situation. But I am not the person to go and be trying to put somebody on Front Street on blast on a panel all the time. I will go behind the scenes. If I got something to say to you, I'm going to have that conversation with you. Period, point blank.
I agree with that, and you know what that shows? It shows how controlling and narcissistic people want to be with controlling your viewpoints and your opinions. Like, it shows like a very toxic type of tribalism, where they want to be so possessive and put you in a certain side of the army, where it's like, no. Some of us can be third party, right, and want neutral balance and peace, right? But unfortunately, war always comes before peacetime,
Yeah, man. That's the thing is, we don't try to get you to. The thing about here is, what I like is everybody would challenge me. You, Marcus, Truth, Rico. You see, Rico will holler and scream at me, and then I get a text, "Hey, call me when the stream is over." He act like it never happened, right? Because I ain't gonna take it personal, and none of us are gonna take it personal. We're not gonna take all of that stuff personal. I'm not gonna take it personal. You're not gonna take it. I know you're not gonna take it personal. See, I know if you were to come up here, you're not gonna take all of that personal. So
I'm still gonna be professional with you and respectful and say, hey, can we talk about it behind the scenes?
We're always respect each other, but we men. We're gonna push each other back, and then Patrice is the lady. She gonna push us back like a lady, and then when she get after us, she have to get after us. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? But everybody respects everybody.
Like I said, these are things that people are not seeing being done. That's just like I saw something about a week or two ago happen on Bro Clan's channel. I text him. You understand the conversation, what I wanted to say. I'll either call him and have the conversation, because I'm not the person that is going to do that. As far as like, listen, I saw some Bro Clans. Let me just give you something else to think about. This, that, and the other. And he said that. And I appreciate that. But that's when adults that are mature, that can accept constructive criticism, a different point of view, and be okay with it and not feel like they have to go on the panel and call somebody out on some shit. See, that's when you know when people have ulterior motives for bullshit that they do, is when they call themselves trying to, you know, call you out on some shit, and you know you done said something to them in a private way, but they want to twist it and turn it, or you done did something on somebody else's platform, but then they want to get on their shit and try to make it look a different way. See that shit right there, I don't G for that shit. And that's why I definitely, now you put it out there like that, now we're gonna have the conversation out there like that. But if I'm talking to someone that's younger, that I'm trying to give counsel, advice, or whatever to, I'm gonna do that privately. I don't have to do it publicly for you to know I'm doing it. I don't have to even let you know I'm doing it. It's none of your goddamn business, first of all. You know what I'm saying? But when people try to hold, now they want to try to hold you accountable or feel like that you doing something because you're not doing it in a way they want you to do it or in a light they think it should be, then they want to try to, you know, feel a way or be a way and say shit about you. And it is what the fuck it is, because I could care less. Honest to God. Listen, fuck them and feed them beans. That's how I feel about it. Fuck them and feed them beans, because listen, I don't know you like that, but the ones that I have gotten close to know and to like, I definitely feel vested into them. And if I do feel vested into them, I'm going to counsel them. I'm going to talk to the younger generation. I'm going to have the conversation because I want to see them do better. I want to see them not make the mistakes that we made and things of that nature. And like say, hey, it's a better way. Think about it. It's a better choice, whether they choose it or not. Right. You know, but it's the fuckery for me, you know, that a lot of other people try to want to make it act like they ain't doing shit, but you're doing shit. And I see what you're doing. So miss me with that bullshit while you trying to pass judgment.
All right, Patrice, we got to shut this thing down. We got to shut this thing down. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and shut it down now, and we will. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys, at probably about 12:30. And I'll have a new topic. You know, we're gonna do the Black History Minute, the news, and the job of the week, and everything like that. But we got to shut this thing down because we got some other stuff we got to do. And so I'm gonna bring everybody down and just close it out. You guys okay with that? Everybody good?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Marcus,
cool.
can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna pull you guys down real quick. Let me see. Let me pull Marcus down. Let me pull Patrice down. Okay. So what y'all think? Rico came in. Strong performance as always. Always a strong performance. Patrice came in. We didn't get her the cam up there, but that's okay. We got her yesterday. Came in, strong performance. I appreciate all of y'all in the chat. Simma came late, brother, but you're always on time, brother. Appreciate you, man. Sister Reza, appreciate you. Enjoyed it as always. See you tomorrow, sister. Appreciate y'all. So y'all make sure y'all be back here with us tomorrow, and then we are going to do the regular Sunday morning broadcast. It's my birthday. Come by and just say happy birthday. Give me a like. Happy birthday, brother C. 54 years old. You know, black men don't get to that age too much anymore. Watch from the beginning, brother Sam. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all of y'all. So we're gonna end this one, and then we'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace.